No, it's actually the most
Cool
amazing
and Haitian called you out for that debate that
What?
y'all was supposed to have before. Yeah, he called you out. He said it didn't work out before. He ended up leaving. He wanted redo.
Hey,
Yeah, but
And I said, I'll see. I don't usually talk to
hey,
you
we gonna talk
often,
about Jay.
so
We
I
can leave
don't
out talk
know
about Jay first.
how where
we
your head is
happening
at.
right now.
So
What is
Listen, anytime I
You
say
got a
shit, you
gun
gonna
on
get
number
I'm
11, you're gonna
locking
get
the
banned.
boxes like
I'm
that's
listening.
You got a
it.
whole gun.
Oh,
Damn.
Marcus snuck his
Why you
ass up
coming up
here
Oh,
here
you
before
with
I
wilding,
unlocked
Lloyd?
that
you
box.
with the
Don't
smoke,
have.
Visa? Okay. Yeah, I'm with the smoke. I'm with the smoke.
Okay, okay.
Interesting.
All right, so I'm
What would
a
be what would be the topic? What would be the topic that they're going to debate on? Like
so
religion or something like that?
Last time he
I
was
think it was
talking about
voodoo
voodoo
versus
versus
Oh,
Islam.
voodoo.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, that one. And Visa, if you could just do me a favor, if you could just send me a message so I could just have you in my messages, I could get in contact with you later about it. That would be awesome. You'll be helping me out today.
So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
And there was no echo. Perfect. What's up, Butterfly Queen? What's up, Struggle? Satan? Everybody coming in? Philly? What's up? Lloyd, you was bugging out. You was trying to get me banned right before my event. Like, where did you do that at? Ridiculous. Yeah, me and Philly, we done made up. I ain't tell you? We made up. You don't think I'm a racist no more? It's awesome.
I didn't even know y'all had beef. But I don't be around certain things.
People don't know when I don't like them. I just don't be around you. But yeah, me and Philly have a set thing. So yeah, I'm excited for tonight. I freaking love science, so I'm interested.
I am too. Like, who is actually
Okay, no problem,
taking what
Tanya.
stance? Is it Humble taking the evolution stance and Nappa not, or vice versa?
Vice versa.
Oh wow. So
Yes.
Nappa's the one lobbying for evolution, and Humble's the one that's against it.
Mhm. So, Cosmic, we're doing a debate tonight: evolution, fact or fiction, right? And it's gonna be Nappa against Humble. So we're really just waiting for everyone to for Nappa to get here. We're waiting for a couple of more people to get in. I'm a little early. It starts at 9, but I like to start early so we could just be sitting here chit chatting and give enough people enough time to come in, give everybody enough time to start on time. What's up? Let's go, Goddess Kim. Lloyd. Lloyd. You gotta go back. You gotta go back in the comments. You gotta stay down there. I'm sorry, boo. Yeah, it should be a good night. I love science, so I'm excited to hear the debunking. I'm excited to hear like the argument for it. I know you
So
trolling and you trying to ruin my damn debate before it even starts. Munchie, come up
so
here.
so what I looked at it
Mhm.
over a little bit earlier. It says you say you have a 6 point system
Oh
or something
yeah,
like that.
I'm gonna go
You're gonna
over
go
it again. It's in the
okay.
I'm gonna go over all of the rules and everything like that. But you as a judge, you're able to give out 6 points, and then there will be one extra point given to by the audience when they do their votes.
Okay.
And
This is
I
at the
have
say during the
after
debate. This
every
is
round.
tally.
After
Okay.
every round.
Every round. Okay.
So you will be judging 3 times. And it's in the announcement. If you look right underneath Nappa and that little evolution part, it says what you're going to be judging on, and it's also in your messages that I sent you
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
bottom.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Neat.
So it's just those 6 things. Hey, Munchie.
What's going on,
What's
sis?
good? I ain't seen you in a minute.
I'm over
Hey.
here. How
Good.
you
What's
doing?
good,
I'm over
Munchie?
here rescuing this Nissan '94 classic shit right now. But I'm with you. Oh shit, I'm in the wrong spot. Oh man, I hope nobody screenshotted that. Oh man, my bad, G.
I know
I
who
thought it was
it was
next to
for. I
I thought it
got
was
you,
next to
bro.
Izza Queen. I was like, that's not Izza Queen.
That's funny. Too,
Yeah, but I ain't doing much.
too funny.
I'm about to see if I can get this car started. I thought it was at 8 o'clock. I came earlier and nobody was on.
No, it was at 9. If you saw me on, it was just us doing our sound check because we record in, as my
Okay.
girl T.S. Madison would say, is this bitch recorded? Sorry, if y'all don't know who that is.
Oh,
But yeah, I just start. You know how I start a little bit early. They let people come into the room, give everybody enough time to get here. So hopefully we could start on time like we did last time. I just
yeah.
got a message, another message from Humble, because I know he was on his way from work. So he should be coming in. There he go. Speak of him. What's up, Humble?
Blessings, blessings, y'all. I
Peace, y'all.
apologize. I'm literally just getting off of work. Um, Listen, man, I done ran into so many things today. It's not even funny. But I'm here, and we're gonna make it work. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know Humble Mystic in the building. But yeah, I'm here, y'all. I'm here. How y'all doing today? How
All
y'all
right,
doing?
Betsy. No problem. Everybody's good. I'm excited to hear what y'all got. Everybody's excited.
Oh yeah.
It's just the
So
final
I'm
countdown
trying
right
to.
now.
So what I'm trying to do is well, what I tried to do at first was send everything over to my tablet because my screen share on my phone don't really it don't be all that. But now what I think I'm just gonna have to do is come in on my tablet, and then I'm gonna bring this profile down to the comments so I can, read from my phone, and but I can be
No
here on my
problem.
tablet. I just gotta find some ways to do
No
things. I was
problem.
trying to transcribe all my, well, not transcribe. I was trying to send all of my stuff to my tablet so I could just read from my tablet, but that don't seem like it's working. But I'm gonna make it work though. Y'all know how Humble Mystic is. Y'all know I'm gonna make it work.
I'm
Worst case
excited to see your
scenario,
work.
worst case scenario, I don't know if you would want to do this, Esau, but if they have the screenshot that they could share into the comments, and maybe people can pause in the comments for a little bit while they're just dropping that picture in the comments, that we can open up and we can see what it is they're showing. If there's a problem with the screen.
Mm.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was just gonna ask. Like, were you sharing your screen, or is this something that you just wanted to put in a comment?
Well, I was gonna share my screen and read. Well, that's what I was thinking about at first. Anyway, the issue with
If you
that
need
is,
two boxes, that's fine too.
no, I only need one box because I'm gonna hop up on my other
Okay.
account. But the issue with my iPhone sharing the screen is it only share for a limited amount of time. It might share for like 5 minutes or something, and then it'll cut off, and then y'all will just be seeing a black screen. So that's why I'm gonna put this profile in the comments, and I'm gonna come on my Just Humble page, so I can do it that way. And also, if I need to, turn my camera on and flip it around and show y'all what I'm, reading from, y'all be able to see that as well.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. I was just making sure that you wasn't trying to put anything in the comments, because I would have had to give like, allotted time for people to actually see the
Right.
picture on top of
Yeah.
everybody commenting and things like that.
Right. No, most definitely. All right, here I am now. Accept. This is my page. This is my. Hold on. I'm sorry. This is just humble. That's me in the comments.
I'm gonna follow you. Hey, just humble.
Okay. I actually what I want to do right now is I'm trying to get what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to still get this picture up here so I can what is being stupid.
Let
Everything just
me
being crazy today. Save.
Okay. All right. I got the. Yeah. I just want to make sure everything was good. Went over, but yeah, I get the gist of it.
Are you
Then
talking
got my
about the
blunt.
criteria?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I got
Okay.
it. It's good, humble. How you been?
What up, Brody? Brody, hold on, y'all. I'm still here. I'm still here, y'all. I'm just trying to figure out how to switch. I'm trying to
Ah,
change
do
this
your
back
thing,
to
man.
the
Take your
top.
time. You got to get this thing right for the tube. This shit going
And
on
this
the
is
tube.
why I start early. This is why I start early for this right here, so everybody can get their shit together
Yeah.
before everybody starts walking in the room.
Got my tablet out to do my
Remember,
little
remember,
well.
real quick, Beagle Break Room will be holding the debate after hour. Why can I say that? Like, the debate
Beagle
after
break room.
hour.
Whose room is that? Whose room is that?
That is Ruby's room.
Okay.
Ruby.
Did
Nappa.
I follow her? Where's she
Hey.
Yo,
at?
yo.
She should be coming in any moment.
Okay, okay.
Not Nappa coming in with the hoodie or hood on, ready for war. I see you.
You already know. You already know.
What's good, Nappa?
I'm ready. I'm excited. I love this topic. I love, evolution, anthropology. I love this topic. So I'm excited.
Right? Me too. I'm that hype.
I'm
I
I'm
am
I'm
that
kind
hype.
of a
I'm gonna
science
try
buff
not to
myself,
talk.
so I could certainly appreciate that. I'm a science buff. Um,
Hmm.
that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how is this for? But I'm gonna keep my black ass shut, and I'm gonna
Yeah, that's what
listen
I'm trying to figure out.
and take it
I'm
all in.
trying
You
to
see what
figure
I'm
out.
saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to see where he coming from. Like, I don't know.
I
Like,
see.
how you gonna beat this?
Okay, I mean,
How you gonna beat this? All right.
How you
I
gonna
I
beat
like the
this,
said,
bro? Like,
confidence.
I thought about this shit
come on,
earlier. Like,
bro.
how the fuck? I mean, it's like, who?
It's
Okay,
gonna be hard to
Listen,
beat
somebody
him,
must
bro.
be
listen.
Chris Angel or something. Gonna pull out a magic trick and shit.
Man.
One thing I will say though, one thing I will say is that we felt that way about Hero. We felt that way about him, and he came with a lot of good information, right? And it had its flaws or whatever, but he did have information. He had evidence backing it up. It was convincing, and those are points. That is a part of the judging. So that you can't all the way sleep on them.
Mm-hmm.
Presentation,
Don't
accuracy.
grandma me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't
That
with
was
that one.
different. I wasn't ready for that one. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. I underestimated him. I did underestimate him. But yeah, this is different. It's gonna be a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, hold on. Somebody was unable. Ruby, here she goes. I saw somebody just try to pop in and out. I think that was humble trying to figure it out. What's up,
Oh, she on the
Ruby?
phone. Okay, okay. Let me
Hey,
follow her right
everybody.
quick. I ain't follow her yet.
Hey.
Yes.
Um,
Please
Very
follow
good.
everybody on the panel. Brilliant people
Yeah,
sitting on this
I
panel.
followed you,
Please
Ruby.
follow.
Yeah, I
oh,
followed you,
okay.
Ruby. Yeah, follow me back.
Vigo Break Room will be hosting the debate after show. So please follow Ruby. It will be going directly to her.
True.
What's up, King of Sorrow? What's up, Faith? Miss Libra.
What's good? What's good? Boy, I get my notes together.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. I'm gonna. You know how hard it is. It's gonna be not to say anything during this stuff. Like, oh, but you forgot about. But what about this? But
Yeah.
I am gonna host a evolution panel. I did the Big Bang panel. That was I think last week. I'm gonna slowly build my way up. I'm going through.
And I,
The hope is to go through like like Earth.
Can y'all hear me? Y'all hear me okay like this?
give
Doing
a
another
mic
mic check.
check.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing mic check. Can y'all hear me like this?
Yes.
That it came
Yeah.
over
Okay.
pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I just want to let you know, Humble. I don't know if you have any presentations, but if you have any skulls or skeletons, you got to be careful with that because the Bigo it will ban you. I've had this conversation before, and I did show skulls, and it banned me. So
Most
just
definitely.
like a
Thank you
heads
for
up.
You
that.
talking about like actual skulls?
Yeah. Any
Like a
bones or
picture of
any
oh
skulls,
wow.
it'll ban you. So just kind of like be careful with that if you do have anything, because I'm a creep. Now I've had this conversation before, like similar conversations, and I got banned for showing. But yeah, man, I'm ready.
Yes, we are waiting for Fusion.
Yeah,
We're
yeah, let
waiting
me
on
share this
Fusion right
thing.
now. Um, he had a Zoom call, but he just hit me up. He said he's on his way. And once Fusion gets here, we can start. I'll start my little spiel, and hopefully we could be like maybe 5, 10 minutes over. I love how we are disrupting the lie of color people time. I love it on this panel. I like to give everybody a round of applause for that.
Oh,
Just dismantling CP time, one panel at a time. I appreciate y'all. Again, please share the live. We are about to get started very shortly. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Gift the panel, gift the judges, gift
yeah.
the host, gift the debaters because they worked hard
I ain't impressed about that shit.
on.
I want all that shit to go to you and the contestants. I'm just here to,
I appreciate you. I
yeah,
appreciate
I
you.
don't want none of that shit. Nah, that should go right to you and the
Yes,
contestants.
definitely give the contestants because they worked hard. I know they got kids, they got jobs, and they still set up and did a whole presentation for everybody sitting here watching. So please give them up.
Got that ready, got the tablet.
Yes,
I'm reading shit by
judges,
JD.
are y'all taking notes? Y'all taking notes, judges?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will be. Keynotes. Because I might have a question or two for them, doing a Q&A. You going to have a Q&A, right?
Yes, I would love to have a Q&A. Last time it was
Okay.
the debate ran kind of late.
Okay.
So we was ending like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. So we
Oh,
kind of
shit.
skipped the Q&A last time.
Yeah.
So hopefully if this don't run too late, we could definitely do a Q&A. I would love to
Okay.
do that,
All right.
especially on this subject, because I know a lot of
Yeah,
people
I know a lot of
don't
people can ask
study
some questions. Like,
evolution.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't study evolution. So I could go to the judges and ask this. Would y'all mind doing a Q&A between the round or just waiting to the end to do a Q&A with everyone? What y'all want to do?
I think it would be best at the end, my opinion.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
You do it in
Okay.
between, it's gonna be too late, and yeah.
I would like to do it at the end.
No problem. Perfect, perfect. So let's start the prophecy. So for this time, because it was a little confusing for the people, um shoot, I kind of want to do like 8, 9, seats 8, 9, no, seats, yeah, seats 8, 9, 10 can be the judges so everybody can know where y'all at, because everybody was all over the place last time. And we can have
Okay.
Nappa, and so I'm gonna open up those boxes for you guys.
Oh, let me drop
Oh,
down there then.
Munchie, you were 3 or 6. All right, take box 6 then. Nappa, you good where you at, or you want to move? I just wanted the judges to be sitting together. Everybody else,
Oh, this is cool. This is cool.
y'all the only ones with assigned seats out here. And then seat 10 could be for Munchie when he comes back. Let me. Hey, everybody coming in. Hello, hello.
What's good, big
Let
man?
me.
Hey,
Hey,
yo, make sure
Sean,
y'all
how's
tag
everybody doing?
everybody. Yeah, tag everybody. Make sure they tune in. Hey, big man, tell them the pokey and all them over there shit. That, I thought I could have told them this shit. That I was judging this debate here. I don't know whether they still in they live like that or not, but um,
Oh, shit.
if you don't mind, just hit them up right quick.
Yes, yes, yes. Let me hit Munchie. Or did he come back in?
You want to know what's funny? Remember the other day we was arguing, we was talking on Black Power panel, and the dude tried to lie and said that Aisha and shit didn't get married at 9. Don't you know
Yeah.
somebody later on that night, yo, you know we'll check even shit. Somebody came on, what was it, on the pokey panel or something? Motherfucker threatened me. I said, what?
Oh wow. One of them
Can't
told me
stand
they
this
wanted to
man.
burn
I
me.
mean, I was like, all I did
They
was ask a question. What the? He threatened me. I was
One of
like,
them
oh,
told me
really?
they wanted to burn me at the stake last night. That's what I heard. I said, "Whoa, we were took it all the way back to
I
Salem."
said, okay, that mean we did something right then. If I ain't piss you off and shit, yeah, I did my job. The fuck? You
That's
think I worry about
crazy.
you?
Vigo cannot be bringing this out of people. We gotta stop
No.
this, people.
So I want you mad
Let
because I
me
wouldn't let
see.
your peoples lie on your sacred Quran and shit. What the fuck? Let me shut up. This ain't about me. This is about the debate. So I'm chopping up at throw it out there, man. I found that shit funny. I said, damn. Okay, so I understand how Islam is peace, but yeah, every time somebody disagree with y'all want to take them out the game. But okay.
Exactly. It just be like that.
Yeah. The fuck?
All right, we just waiting on Munchie. I just sent him a message, and then as soon as he gets here, we're gonna start because we can't start without him because he is a judge. So so do y'all have anything to say? Any pre-debate banter? Are y'all ready? Nappa is here defending his title.
Oh, y'all know I'm ready. Listen, if y'all know one thing about Humble, y'all know Humble stay ready. Yes, I did have a it's so funny I'm pulling the Nappa right now, but yes, I did have a work today. Things just didn't go get all the way there, but I'm here. That's all that's important. I'm here. I'm here.
I wish both of y'all good luck. This should be fun.
Absolutely. Like, I cannot wait. Nappa, you have anything? want we set it up?
Yeah,
No,
good luck to the contestants.
I'm ready.
All right, you hit us with the 8 Mile.
That's hilarious. That
that was
yeah, that's hilarious. You funny as hell.
What's up, Cool J?
Come on, Rabbit.
No problem.
Oh shit.
No, I was just saying you coming up. You are our reigning champion right now. That's all I'm just
Yeah.
saying. What's up, Organic?
Well, I
Welcome,
know we got the
welcome.
intro, so I'm trying to save my intro for the intro. So
Got you. Got you. Sister, how are you? Love, love, love. Thank you all of y'all for coming out and supporting us. Thank you. What's up, Billy? You still here? I'm excited for you. What's up, Candy Girl? You know I'm gonna fuck with Billy. You just know I am. But it's love. It's fun. Where did Munchie go? Let me hit him one more time. I'm mad he walked off right as
What is the debate
hi
on?
Purple Diva.
Evolution. Evolution, big man.
Hello. Looking forward to the
How
debate.
you
Hi,
doing?
Humble. I'm doing good. I am a friend of Humble and Tori.
Okay,
Oh,
Banter.
no
Sis
problem.
Sister
Oh,
Purple in the building.
Hey, Humble. How are
Hey,
you?
Sister Purple. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Listen, I'm not up on my original page right now. That's what I'm going to be using to read my presentation from. But Humble is most definitely in the building, Purple. I'm most definitely in the building.
did y'all already determine who go first, or do y'all go roll the dice or what?
We're gonna roll the dice.
Uh,
Whoever wins the dice gets to choose if they're gonna go first or second. Um, really, to be very honest, we're just waiting on Munchie to get here. To be very honest, I don't know what happened, but he was here this whole time, and then right before Fusion walked in, he dipped off.
Did he say he
So,
was doing something with his car or a car
yes,
or
he
something?
did say he was doing something with the car. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he did. So I'm gonna keep. I'm just gonna have to give him some time to get back.
no problem.
Is this 2 rounds or 3 rounds?
This is 3 rounds.
3 rounds. Okay.
Yes, this will be 3 rounds. Yes, thank you for sharing the live. Thank you, thank you.
Same judging criteria. Same judging rules.
Everything's the same. I'm gonna just. I don't want to start the intro because I'm gonna go over all of the rules and stuff in my intro. Kind of
Yeah, he
didn't
might
want to
just
start
wait.
without Munchie.
Yeah,
Right, I
he
didn't
might
want to
just
start without Munchie being here. He heard it before, but then as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna want to start the debate.
yeah.
So, but y'all don't have to be silent. I'm running out of like host
I'm
banter.
smoking. I'm smoking. Get my mind right. You
That's what everybody doing
Well,
right now,
okay, no,
rolling up.
know what I'm saying? Get my mind right.
no problem, no problem. You know what? I'm gonna go through some promotions then. Let me just go through my promotions. Thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate y'all. I do have a goddesses of the Bible panel. It was supposed to be last week. It's gonna be Monday at 9 p.m. That's August 26th, 9 p.m. I have another debate coming up. Did 90s gangster rap ruin the black community?
Hey.
That will be
Hey.
that will be
I see the
September
point though.
8th. That is coming up September 8th. That will be being debated by Tanya versus Elder Slim. I'm going to let you wait on to see who's arguing what side. If if you love the flyers, my man Rep in box one, he's amazing with these flyers. Please hit him up for these flyers. If you like them,
Yeah, them Jones is
they're
fire.
fast.
Rep Jones is fire. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, even the videos, the video flyer that you guys saw, that one as well, that was done by him. So just let me know if you want to get at him about these flyers. If you want to
Yeah, good
follow
job, Rep.
Nappa, you can find him on Instagram at yarrow.com. Again, Tanya will be debating September 8th, and you can also find her on Talking Smack Intellectually. I believe Humble has a debate tomorrow. Humble, do you still have a debate tomorrow?
Yes, yes. As far as I know, I surely do.
What?
I
What? Whoa!
surely
Whoa!
do.
Whoa!
Oh,
Whoa! 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 Stop! Whoa!
yeah,
Are
go
you going to
ahead,
promote
go ahead,
Jehovah's
speak
Records? Like,
yours.
what the fuck is going on here? How you do back-to-back debates and shit? What the fuck?
How the listen, you know how it is?
You said what now? Run that back.
I said, J-Mo, you know how it is. Listen, you know I
Damn, my
love to be
nigga.
in the
You
room.
trying to go
You
after
know I
Lord
love to
Jehovah's
be in
Records. You want
the
that 500 no, huh? Okay.
And it's gonna be based in federal science. Like, I don't know.
Okay. You sure you gonna win then? Once you break federal science, then it's over.
Once you bring in
Yeah,
federal
like.
Not federal science.
So who and where you're debating tomorrow on this shit? Like you come to
So
like back here again
tomorrow I'm
tomorrow?
going to be. So I do want to make a big announcement, y'all.
Okay.
Tomorrow my debate is with Kiss Happiness. However, I
What?
do want to make an announcement. This will be one of the few debates that I will do anywhere else. I do look forward to the rest of my debates being hosted by Sister Easter Queen here. I love how she
Love
hosts her
you.
debates. I love how her
Yes,
debates
yes,
are set up. I
yes.
believe out of everybody that actually tried this process, I do believe she will be the most successful. Just by how she go about her process of even setting up the debate.
Yes.
I love how she don't allow any nonsense on her panels. This is not going to be one of them. Let me give shouts out to brother Nappa while I'm saying this, because I do want y'all to understand this is not going to be one of them rah rah debates. This is not something it's not going to be a yelling match. This is not going to be a speculative match. This is not going to be a who got the biggest ego type of match. No, we bringing out information. I know that's one thing my man Nappa is good for. He is good for some amazing information. And so we're going to sit, we're going to learn some new things today. We're going to dive into, evolution. Um, all kinds of evolution, human evolution, just the evolution of life, right? And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So I hope y'all have y'all ears up and listening. There's going to be a lot of information dropped. I know I'm dropping a lot of information. I know my brother Nat, we're going to be coming with some good information. So have y'all ears open.
So my question is this: you said you're debating on Kiss Happiness's panel against Kiss Happiness?
No, I'm debating. I'm supposed to be. I am debating Pitbull on Kiss Happiness panel.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah,
I
and
was
so
gonna
me and
say.
Pitbull are going to be debating about are the
Oh,
Hebrew
Pitbull,
Israelites
Keelan. You talking about
American
Keelan?
descendant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just. Oh man.
And here goes J-Mo. Listen, this is our debate, J-Mo. Our debate is going to be about are the African Americans of today the descendants of the Israelites of the Bible? That's going to be our
Oh
debate.
man, that's going. Oh yeah, I want everybody to be around for that one too. That should be very interesting. That's very
Oh, you
interesting,
know
man.
it.
And I know Keelan, man. Yo, watch, man. I ain't gonna say nothing. This shit. Let's just say
I
I'm
don't know
very
what I'm
confident in you.
bringing,
I'm
but I
very
know you know
confident in
he better
you.
than me because you know I'm bringing something.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, yo, look, I'm very confident in you. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, that's a walk in the park, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What time is it?
Lunch. Right on time.
What it do? What it do?
It's going to be at 8 o'clock, I believe. Yeah, I think it's going to be at 8 o'clock because I get off at 4 tomorrow. So,
Eastern. Eastern?
yeah. Yeah, Eastern
Okay.
time.
All right. You straight, Munchie?
Oh yeah, I'm
One
good.
thing I will say,
So yeah, I
y'all,
was messing with
it
that
was
car and I needed the
Yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah.
flashlight and shit. I had to
Yeah,
look
yeah.
something
Make
up.
sure you send me
One
the
thing I
invite. I mean, I'll
will
be
say,
around anyway, but just send me the invite just to make sure.
I didn't see you up,
but
I
one
was
thing
just
I
about to
will say
ask
about this
you,
debate,
All right.
Issa, what your position
if
was,
we
if you
go
needed an
back to this
alternate.
debate, say it again, sister. I apologize. I couldn't hear you.
No, I just was saying that since we was waiting for Munchie and we wasn't sure, I was going to ask Issa what his position was and if she needed an alternate. But yeah, welcome back, Munchie.
Mm.
Thank you. I am back.
Hey, sister
I'm here.
Bethel. But and so like I was saying, one thing I will say is this is going to be my last alternative with Pitbull. We pushed this debate back twice. I'm not pushing it back again. If he can't make it tomorrow, then she's gonna have to find me somebody else to debate, or hey, I can
I
save
told
that
you.
topic for. I will
Like
most
I
definitely do
said,
that
I
topic.
already know how you gonna move and shit. That's why I said. Without firing all them cats. And here's another thing too, and I'm gonna say this for future reference. Don't ever debate a Hebrew Israelite on a Hebrew Israelite panel. It's never going to go in your favor. They're always going to link up and they're going to do some bullshit. They're going to try to rig it. My advice, like I said, Issa or somebody that's just fully neutral.
Oh
Because
yeah.
otherwise, I be shit. They're going to find a way to rig it in their favor because they don't want their brothers to lose and shit get embarrassed on a Hebrew Israelite panel about Hebrew Israelite information. That's all I want to say.
I appreciate the shout outs for that. No, for real. I really appreciated that love you just gave. Uh, I'm actually a little speechless, so thank you for that. So now that Munchie's here, we're going to get started. Thank y'all for bearing with us and waiting, and I do appreciate everybody for coming out and supporting these debates. Tonight is going to be a good one. I am very excited because if y'all hear me talk on these channels, you know I love science. So I am ready for this evolution, fact or fiction debate. Let's get straight to the introductions. We have Nappa and Humble who will be debating tonight. Nappa is for evolution and Humble will be against evolution. We have Munchie, J-Mo, and Ruby. They will be our judges tonight. And we have Fusion and Rep as our fact checkers. As always, we're just going to go quickly through these rules that we're doing tonight. So, introductions will be 5 minutes each. We will have 3 7-minute rounds with 1 minute grace time. We have 3 4-minute rebuttals, and we have 3 4-minute counters. We will be judging on how clearly they explain their position, directly addressing the topic, if they made a convincing case, if they used specific evidence to explain the topic, and if they explain the other side's weaknesses, the counters, if they respond directly to the other side's critiques. That is 6 points that the judges will be able to give the both debaters. As for the audience, you will be judging on all of those things, and you will be able to vote at the end of every round for one additional point. Um, Lastly, fact checking what happened during the rebuttal. Asking questions for the fact checking does not get timed. Again, it is not timed. You will be able to ask your questions, start your rebuttal, and then within a minute and 30 seconds left of your rebuttal time, I will tap on you with the nice little hand emoji, and you will know to stop and let one of the factors fact check the information for you. With the remaining minute and 30 seconds, you will be able to respond to the fact check, or you can continue on with your rebuttal. You will lose a point for incorrect facts. I repeat, you will lose a point. So please stay on point so you can get the points. Um, Tonight, I will be your goddess of time as well as your goddess of moderation. And we can get started. So please, everybody, listen for my voice. I will be giving a 3-minute warning, and I will be giving a 1 minute and 30-second warning. And in that 1 minute and 30 seconds, if you feel as though you need a grace time, can you please just really quickly say, I want that extra minute, or grace time, please, or anything of that alliteration. And you will be able to continue with what you're saying, and then I will stop you. Um, does anybody have any questions before we get started? I'm going to take that as a no. So we're going to roll the dice to see who who will choose who is going first. So can you please get your dice ready and let me know when you have your dice ready?
All right. So, yeah, I'm, shit. Sorry. I'm ready. That wasn't it. I'm sorry. I'm ready.
That wasn't it. Yeah, that wasn't it. No, that wasn't it, Humble. So on a count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Mm.
Nappa once again will be choosing who is going first.
Humble, you go ahead and go first, brother.
Perfect. All
Okay.
right, everybody mute their mics. Hold on just a second. Let me get the timer ready. Give me 1 second because okay, your 5-minute rebuttal will start. Wait. Let me know when you're ready,
All right,
Munchie.
that was the last time. That was the last time.
I'm ready. Just send
Okay. All right, your 5-minute rebuttal will start now.
blessings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for coming to the debate. I just want to say that first and foremost, y'all know who it is. It's your brother, Humble Mystic. Um, and I am here today to claim, to stand on the claim that the evolution theory that we all know that our science books talk about is an enigma. It's literally um, a prolification of someone's imagination, right? And I'm going to show that tonight in a series and myriad of different ways, right? We're going to go into I'm going to, me personally, is going to touch on a couple different topics, a lot of different topics actually, and each topic that I touch on is going to show how some way or form or fashion that evolution is either fraudulent, it's misleading, We're going to show how the people that were actually making these claims had their own biased agendas. So we bringing out a lot tonight. And I hope y'all ears stay perked up. Y'all here to listen. Like I said earlier, it's gonna be a good one. I land my plane with that in my time system.
Beautiful, straight and to the point. Appreciate you. Nappa, are you ready for your opening statement?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, your 5 minutes starts now.
All right. So yeah, this is the second or my second formal debate on Vigo. This is a controversial topic because of the modern science or the use of I'm sorry, the use of evolution in support of the scientific racism, right? So there's a lot of there's a bad taste in our mouths in our community about eugenics, Darwinism, evolution, and I hope that this conversation could help us understand what evolution is on a scientific level and all the abundance of proof that there is, fossil records and proof that we have all across the world from several different institutions, all across the world in different nations, different countries. And we could educate ourselves and understand where we are in this evolutionary tree, right? Because we are primates. We are a part of the evolutionary tree, and this could help us understand our past, our present, our future, and and potentially demystify a lot of aspects of evolution. And a lot of it's rooted in religious thinking and spiritualism and sci-fi, alternative science, and that kind of takes away from it kind of I'm sorry, I need to relax for a second. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I'm pretty much done with my intro. I'm done.
Perfect, perfect. So we are going to start round one, and that will be starting with Humble once again because, Nappa won the toss. So with Humble, are you ready for your first round?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am ready. Whenever you ready to start, I'm here for you.
Okay, so your 7 minutes begins now.
Thank you so much, sister. I sit here tonight. Matter of fact, let me start from the beginning. Round one. We're going to show fraudulent evidence that of the evolution theory. So I sit here tonight to make the claim that scientific evidence supporting human evolution is fraught with scientific issues, including fraud and misinterpretation. These controversies not only undermine the credibility of evolutionary narratives, but also reinforce the notion that evolution remains an enigma. Several instances of fraud have been documented in the history of evolution science. For example, Ernest Haeckel's embryo drawings, with purportedly demonstrated similarities among different species, were later exposed as fraudulent. Biology textbooks as evidence, I apologize, get one. Despite this, they continue to appear in biology textbooks as evidence of evolution. So here we see, this is only the first part. Here we see somebody, quote unquote, make a discovery about evolution. And then somebody then come debunk that. But what does the school system do? They keep it in their textbook, just like they do everything else they try to hide. Let's keep on going, y'all. Despite this, they continue to appear in biology textbooks as evidence of evolution. Additionally, the Piltdown man, once held as a crucial link, a critical link in human evolution, was revealed to be a hoax, further causing doubt in the reliability of fossil evidence. The persistence of fraudulent evidence suggests a deeper issue with the interpretation of data within the evolutionary science. Critics argue that theories often rely on preconceived assumptions rather than objective analysis. This has led to the perpetuation of inaccuracies in science literature, which which are then taught as fact. Furthermore, the concept of genetic entropy challenged the idea that mutation lead to increasingly complexity. Even entropy, which we know that is one of the laws of nature, one of the thermodynamic laws, entropy, it challenges the idea of evolution. And here's how, right? It says the idea that mutation lead to increased complexity suggests instead that they result in genetic degradation over time. So instead of, as people, as evolutionists think, right, mutations leads to successes, but what does nature tell us? Over time, things degenerate, deter. They don't get better, they deter. So these examples illustrate the evidence for evolution is not as robust as often claimed. The presence of fraudulent evidence and the misinterpretation of data highlight the need for more critical examination of evolutionary theory. As such, evolution remains an enigma, challenging the prevailing materialistic explanations of our origins. Here's some key claims against human evolution. Number one, the Piltdown Man. We talked about him a little earlier. Let's get deep into that a little bit. The Piltdown Man case as a notorious example of scientific fraud that signifies impact the study of the human evolution. Discovered in 1912 by Charles Dawson, an amateur archaeologist. He wasn't even a professional. He wasn't even a leading archaeologist. He was an amateur. The Piltdown fossils were initially held as the missing link between apes and humans. I remember my brother earlier said that we were primates. Listen to this. Dawson claimed to have found a human-like skull and an ape-like jawbone in a gravel pit in Piltdown, England. This discovery was supported by prominent science at the time, including Arthur Smith's woodwork of the British Museum, and was widely
Would you like
accepted
to
as
use your
evidence.
grace period? Sorry, would you like to use your grace period?
Um, no, go ahead. I said enough. Listen,
You still
I
have
said
1
enough.
minute,
Go.
30 seconds. You still have 1 minute, 30 seconds.
I thought you were saying. I thought you were saying I was done. I thought you were saying I was done. I apologize. I got 1 minute 30 seconds. So I'm gonna just hop straight down. Not only the Piltdown Man, but the Nebraska Man. Let's talk about the Nebraska Man for a second. The Nebraska Man case exemplified the pitfall of Dawson's broad conclusions from limited evidence, highlighted insignificant missteps in the study of human evolution. In 1922, Henry Fulton Osborn, a prominent paleontologist, announced the discovery of his Heterodactylus, the Harolaki, based solely on a single tooth. This was based only on a single tooth, found by geologist Harold Cook in Nebraska. This tooth initially held as evidence of a North American ape man, a supposed missing link in human evolution. However, the excitement was short-lived. Further examination revealed that the tooth did not belong to a primate, but rather to an existing species of pecatory, a pig-like mammal. Thank y'all for allowing me to speak. All right, thank y'all for allowing me to speak.
Real quick, before you start, Nappa, remember, I'm going to give you this for when you have 3 minutes. And then when at 1 minute, 30 seconds left, I will ask, would you like to use your grace period? Just say yes or no, and it will just keep it moving.
Okay.
That's how we're going to move it. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, your 7 minutes starts now.
All right. So let me. All right. So when we're doing when we're talking about evolution, it's important to start with pre-life Earth, right? We have to start with the very beginning because you want to understand what creates the conditions for life to prosper, right? So the Earth, according to radiometric dating, is about 4.5 billion years old. And you see the first forms of life about in the first 100 million years during a period called the late heavy bombardment, where asteroids were hitting the Earth and heating the surface and creating the Earth's early crust. And even in the first million years, you start to see the first elements and molecules conditions for where life can exist, right? And then you have, the Earth becomes an atmosphere where the oceans and start to develop, and the immense heat. There was an intense heating period, and then there was a cooling down period, and this kind of became a place where stabilization was happening, where the Earth became stabilized, where simple cell molecules would evolve into multicellular molecules, right? I'm not going to go over every detail in this right here, but you start to see the earlier forms of life starting in the ocean, right? That's where you start to see the earliest forms of life, and we can prove that with fossil records. We have an abundance of fossil records throughout the ocean craters, meteorites that we've studied, and creatures that no longer exist today, right? Creatures that no longer exist, that we have an abundance of artifacts, and we're able to see even transitionary fossils of creatures that have similarities between creatures that exist today and creatures that no longer exist. So you talk about fraudulent claims, these cases that you're talking about, like these very few cases of pseudo archaeology or people trying to present a missing links. Yeah, there are missing links in the genetic pool. We don't have all the fossil records, but we have an abundance of chronological fossils of our ancestors. It's already. I'm gonna bring up. So we know we have bone structures of Homo sapiens, Homo Neanderthal, the Homo heterobigenus, the Australopithecus, the Homo habilis. We have fossil records, tangible evidence of skulls of creatures that no longer exist that also share similar anatomy with human beings today, pointing towards a common ancestor. Right. You also see other creatures across the animal kingdom that have ancestry that no longer exist today. Right. You can find this within the bird kingdom, the fish kingdom, amphibian, reptiles. Um, so, my question is, have you looked into the abundance of institutions that have catalogs of chronological fossil records? Not just highlighting the few cases of fake bones and skeletons. What would be your genealogical process of life on Earth? I would need to see that. Like, I would like to know that. So yeah, I'm done. Oh, well.
You still have 45 seconds for your rebuttal round.
Okay, so yeah, my question is, so you bring up these fake records or whatever. What would be your process? What would be your evolutionary process? How did human beings or how did life begin on Earth? Because that would be helpful in this conversation. You talk about the fake records, but can we get a more timeline of life on Earth and where we came from and how that started? And that's I would wrap it up right there.
Perfect. We are going to Humble for his counter argument. Humble, you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm ready.
Okay, your 4 minutes begins now.
All right. In my round two debate, I am going to show and prove. Well, I'm not going to show, but I'm going to prove in my presentation that simple cell molecules cannot evolve into complex life. I'm going to show and prove that. Fossil records. We're going to get into the fossil records. He was talking about the fossil records. We're going to get into that in the second round as well. And I think we're going to touch on it a little bit in the third round. How life started, and he asked me this question: how did life start? For me, personally, life was always. There was no beginning. There was no end. Life was always life. Life will always continue to be life. And so the things that we see, the multiple variations of the things that we see, is just a reflection, an outer reflection of what the thing really is. So, and then now let's tie this back into evolution, right? I want us to understand that evolution and adaptation is not the same thing. We have to understand that. Evolution and adaptation is not the same thing. And I'm going to get into that in my second round as well. And we're going to talk about some of these claims. I've even heard them on Bigo. And we're going to get into that. Some stating, about the whale. I'm not going to get too specific because I want to save it to my next round. But, that's all I got for right now. And I appreciate y'all for allowing me to speak. That's my time.
Okay, you still have 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay, no problem. So we are going into Nappa's. Nappa, did you have something to say?
Oh, and okay, we're going to a rebuttal. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, no. That was his counter.
Oh, okay.
Remember, Nappa went first, you rebutted, and that was his counter. You're about to go into your first round right now, your first 7 minutes right now.
Oh, okay.
So,
Cool.
okay, no problem. So, let me know when you're ready and we can start.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, your 7 minutes will begin now.
So I'm glad you brought up adaptation, right? Because adaptation is a mechanism of evolution. Because evolution has many different mechanisms. You have natural selection, genetic mutation, recombination, and adaptation, right? And adaptation would be more like a microevolution, right? A small change within a population or a species over a short period of time, right? Then a macroevolution would be a larger scale change over a longer period of time, resulting in a new species or a new family or taxonomic group. So adaptation is like a evolution will be the topic, and then adaptation will be a category, as well as natural selection, survival of the fittest, genetic mutation, recombination. So we have to understand that evolution covers a broad spectrum of different topics, of different things happening simultaneously. Like evolution is a bunch of sequences happening simultaneously across all kind of different species and all kind of different conditions. Whether you have a hot climate or a cold climate or a climate closer to the land versus being more into the center of the ocean. You could tell where you can look at whales, for example. You can look at whales, for example, which they found to have these limbs, right? These limbs in the back of their skeleton that they no longer use, like these hind limbs, suggesting that they could at one point have been land animals. We know that whales are mammals. They're not fish, they're mammals. So at one point in their history, they were land animals and they migrated back into the ocean, suggesting that they were land animals at one point. So they naturally selected out the legs, and now they're just they look like fish now, but they're really mammals, right? So you're seeing evolution across the whole spectrum of animals, amphibian creatures, reptilian creatures. The Earth went through several different epochs in its It's 4.5 billion years, right? And it's kind of hard to conceptualize a billion, but you gotta look. There's 4.5 billion. It's a lot of time, and there's a lot of different epochs, from the Archean epoch to the Silurian epoch to the Mississippian epoch, the Triassic epoch, the Jurassic epoch, and now we're in the Holocene epoch. Right now is where the primate evolved out of. And we could find through fossil records, an abundance of fossil records, again, throughout the whole world, especially scattered in Africa, South America, Asia. You'll find fossil records of hominids that shared similar anatomy with human beings. And you can kind of see a chronological order of these skeletons too. You can line them up and see, okay, yeah, that's the most recent ancestor and the most distant ancestor, and then you can see a connection to the other primates. And it's over 500 different types of primates in the animal kingdom, right? We're not necessarily chimpanzee, we're not necessarily monkey, but we are a part of the great ape genus, which is a family in the whole spectrum of. I want to get a fact check on that too near the end of my minute, when my minute stops. I want to fact check on how many primates are there, and it should be between 3 to 500. I would say over 500, but it's a lot of different primates. And you can see through, okay, we have the modern species that exist today, we have extinct species, and then we have fossil records of distant ancestors that no longer exist. And it's all chronological. Institutions across the world get together and they put these pieces of the puzzle together, and you can see an order. You can see a nice order. Now there's still missing links. It's what they call ghost DNA, and there has been pseudo claims of finding the missing link, but they haven't been respected through the institutions that get out into the field, dig these bones up, and bring them back to the databases and to the science centers, and collect and compare data. So we could point towards, you could find evolutionary cycles. You could find it. You could find a chronological order. And that's where you can find any science has that. Any field has that's what science is, finding chronological order and then putting it, seeing where you're at in that scale. I kind of got distracted real slow on it. What else do I want to bring up? The last minute. How many seconds do I have left?
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
2 minutes and 30. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay. So we have, what else do we have? So we have different theories about how life began too. These asteroids 4.5 billion years ago, they call panspermia, could have contained simple cell organisms that would have collided with the Earth, creating the environment, and then eventually building the building blocks of single cell organisms into multicellular organisms in the deep ocean, where life would be abundant, and eventually over billions of years evolving and going on to land, sometimes retracting back into land. Some creatures stayed in the ocean, like the shark. The shark never left the ocean, right? That's one of the few creatures that did it, or that's one of the species in the ocean that never left the ocean. But you have plenty of creatures that went out to the land. You got the dinosaur period, which we have proof of through fossil records that there were large reptilians at one point. And of course, these reptilians had amphibian or ocean origins. So that would, you find
1 minute,
chronological
30
order.
seconds. Would you
You
like a
find
grace period?
chronological. Yeah. Maybe not. I think I might be done. You find chronological sequences when you look at the fossil records, and fossil records don't lie. Yeah, there are individuals that lie, but fossil records do not lie, and we're finding them at abundant rates, and they're still finding new homogeneous records. They're finding new bones scattered throughout the world, and they're finding migration patterns even too, right? You're finding migration patterns, especially coming from out of Africa. You're finding them in Asia, in the Middle East, and up in Europe, and they're aligning with our theories. And we have to remember that scientific theory is different from just the layman theory. Scientific theory is supported by evidence, by extensive physical, tangible evidence. So again, I would love for you to bring up some records of us always being here, because everything in nature points to us having a cause and effect. Literally everything you can imagine has a cause and effect. And you can see evolution in the embryo, in the womb. You can see that there's a sign of change that has to happen. For you to be born, a sperm cell has to reach the womb, and then it develops over 9 months, and then you're born. Everything has a sequence. So I would love
Time.
for you to get real specific.
Time.
Boom. All right.
Okay, Humble, this is going to be your rebuttal. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Your 4 minutes begins now.
All right. And before I go back, I just want to answer his question really fast. Can you ever think of a time when man was not? Think about that question. You ever think of a time when man was not? Don't we got books that go back that talk about older people that go back that talk about older people that go back that talk about older people that go back? So when you really sit here and think about it, man was always man. Man was always man. And so just as we can't think about the Big Bang, there's speculations on that as well. We can't go far back. Why do you think they keep finding? You said it yourself. They keep finding older bones, older bones, older bones. Why do you think they keep finding older bones? Every new bone they come out with, they're gonna find something older than that. Why do you think that is? You just think they're gonna come up and I'm gonna land after this because I want to get into the rest of it. But you think they're just gonna say, okay, well this was the first step. We're not gonna find any more bones after that. No, they're gonna keep finding new bones, like you just said. But I want to go back to my first round because my what I didn't get to, it touches on everything that else he was talking about, right? So this is the reevaluation of fossil evidence. He said we got these fossils and they finding fossils and da da da. He never told you that hey, these fossils that were found and claimed as truth then get re-evaluated and then get debunked. Let's get into that. The re-evaluations of fossil evidence has led to a significant shift in our understanding of evolutionary links, highlighting the complexity and challenges inherent in interpreting fossil records. Several fossils once thought to be pivotal in elucidating evolutionary pathways have been reclassified or debunked, releasing or raising questions about the reliability of evolution interpretation. Recent phylogenomic analysis of insectoids such as sea urchins and sand dollars have prompted an evaluation or re-evaluation of their fossil record. Despite their excellent fossilization potential, discrepancies have emerged between molecular data and fossil evidence.
1 minute.
So this is molecular data saying one thing and fossil evidence saying another thing. That's my time, sister?
No, I said 1 minute.
Okay, so we have molecular. That's the when they go in there, that's molecules. They have that saying one thing, and then they have the data record saying another thing. So let me skip down here because he also talked about DNA, right? It's a evidence for date and evolutionary evidence, the reassessment of DNA preservation and fossils beyond contemporary period has also contributed to the real-based re-evaluation of evolutionary links. Advance in DNA staining technique, advanced because now we have new technology, right? And DNA techniques have pivoted new insights in the preservation of genetic material and ancient
Time.
fossils. Challenging, okay.
Time. Time. Okay, we're going to Nappa's counter. You have 4 minutes. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
4 minutes begins now.
So you asked imagine a time before man. So we do know with radiometric dating that there was a time where the Earth was too hostile for any life to prosper, right? And it was a very it was a very temperate Earth. You know, the asteroids was hitting at a constant rate. It was a time before man. Man is fairly new, maybe about the Homo sapiens about 400,000 years old according to fossil records, and then just the homogeneous would be about I might need to fact check this. 1.2 billion. I mean 1.2 million years. I'm sorry, 1.2 million. Million and billion is two different numbers, by the way. This is it's a lot of time, a lot of fucking time, and it's kind of hard to conceptualize that when we're talking about evolution. But the human being or the Homo sapien is fairly new. And are they finding these? Are they finding new discoveries at an alarming rate? No, they're not finding them at. Are they finding skeletons? Yes. Are they finding different type of homogeneous? Not so much. They're finding a very healthy or a very rapid linear evolution with these skulls when they do come across these skulls. So they're not finding completely different skulls. Like they're finding a chronological order of them. Again, I mean, we could look at the pictures. You know, we can look at these pictures across the different museums across the world. And hold on, let me see. You could find you could find these different these bones scattered throughout the world. You know, damn, I'm trying to find another book. Sorry about that, y'all. I think this is the best one, honestly. Even though it is an illustration, it is kind of a good example of the skeletons that we found or the skulls that we found over years. And first of all, they no longer exist, so that's one thing. They no longer exist but share a common ancestry. So that's all we have to say. I mean, that really puts it in the bud right there. It's like we're finding fossil records of creatures that share a similar anatomy that no longer exists, right? And then you can find these gradual progressions of this all the way up into the Homo sapiens. You know, I mean, I don't understand how you can't. Yeah, I don't understand how you can't. You know, it's kind of hard to debate this, man. Yeah, it's hard. And then you can find this across the animal kingdom too, going down from the moth all the way to the tuna fish or a chicken. You can find these variations. You can find these linear, and you're gonna find a lot of them because I mean, billions of years, a lot of time to find a lot of different fossil records of dead creatures across the world. Some of these artifacts are probably disintegrated, are no longer existing, but we're still finding enough to see a chronological order. You know,
1 minute.
1 minute. We also share DNA, a universal genetic code, with other creatures, dogs, wine grapes, even fruit flies. 47% with fruit flies, 24% with wine grapes. Dogs have 84%. And when you get into genetic code, it's sort of like a coding system, and it stays conserved, and it feeds off of proteins. It's the encoded proteins that makes it highly efficient to adapt to its environment. And the core elements would be hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, phosphorus. You find this across the whole animal kingdom and living organisms, and it shows again a common ancestry across the whole animal kingdom. So I'm pretty much done there. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, yeah, 8 seconds left. That is your time. So that completes round one. We are going to go to judging. We're going to go to Munchie first. Munchie, what do you think? Maybe I should have picked somebody else first. All right, we're going to give him some time. We're going to J-Mo.
Okay. I gave Humble a 3 only because I don't think it was concise enough. Like he could, I mean, there's a lot of information that he brung out, but it's like he tried to squeeze it in a lot of times. So but the presentation, the information is good. and I gave Nappa a 4 only because he brought a little bit more visual to it. Now I don't know whether they're allowed to screen share when they do these things, but I think that would pretty much help with the audience understanding exactly their angle while they're presenting this. I mean, it's just my opinion, but yeah, I gave Humble a 3 and I gave Nappa a 4.
No problem. And Ruby?
All right, everyone. Greetings. I want to say great job to both of you guys on that first round. I'm going to start off here with Humble since he presented first. Humble, in the first round, I did like the way you brought up your questions. One of the things, though, that you brought up was there's two distinctions in you guys' arguments about adaptation. You mentioned that you believe that adaptation is completely different from evolution. I wished that since that was such a large part of your argument, that maybe we could have gotten a little bit more information on that. Obviously, Nappa's position was different. So for you, round one, I am giving you a 5. Okay, 6. Okay, I'm 5. So Nappa, let's see here. Your position was evolution is adaptation is a subcategory of evolution. I'm giving you a 6 on this round because I believe you provided quite a lot of evidence to as to why adaptation is a part of this. I liked both of you guys' presentation, but also 6 because there was a lot more evidence provided. But I liked the argument.
Perfect. And Munchie, are you there? Munchie, the only one on CP time.
Do you fall asleep?
Oh, no. I muted him because he has stuff in his background. I'm sorry, Munchie. He
It's
now
all
on
good.
CP time. That was me.
Yeah, no problem. Let me just kiss real quick. So the TV won't drown. So okay. So I'm going to who would I go with first? I'm gonna go ahead with stick to the first. So since Humble was first, I'll start with you, Humble. I'm gonna have to. I gotta give you a 4, right? Right? And I'm gonna give you a 5. I'm gonna give you a 5. I like to start people hot. I'm gonna give you a 5, right? And I need to see what you're talking about. If it sounds like we're reading. If you are reading off of your own written stuff, cam up real quick, show that that's your evidence that you wrote down and you're reading from, or give us points of reference. Where you're getting this from. If you're reading it from websites, no problem. Show us that particular part from that website. Show us the website. Presentation is key as well. You know what I'm saying? You want to present what you're talking about. And as well, you guys need to use the fact checkers. I'm gonna ding y'all both this time around. The fact checkers need to be utilized. If not, I'm gonna take points away from you as well. Nappa, I'm gonna give you a 5 as well, right? And I am giving you credit that you did cam up that one time, but I had you both in the same lane until you would have made that 5 regardless. And the other 5 was grazed. So same deal. Show y'all information. Where it's coming from, or if it's written, just let us see where you're coming from, your perspectives. I think you guys are doing great. Assertiveness is there on both sides. I think you guys are both presenting your information from your points of reference, but like I said, that needs to be seen, or it seems like you're just saying things. And that's why I'm gonna leave y'all, man. You know, you start at the top with me. I like to start people at 100. I wish I can give you guys a 6, but you guys really didn't utilize you didn't utilize the fact checkers at all, and as well as the no screen sharing to limited screen sharing from both parties, and that's why you both starting at a 5. You can only go down from here or maintain it, or you can actually go up 1 point this time around. This is the impartial judge, Mungie Man, and that's all I gotta say.
Nice. We are about to go to the comments. So, if you are voting from Humble, can you please put a 1 into the comments? 1 into the comments.
Oh, real quick. Nappa actually did do a fact check. It was just on his own information. So it was so I did put it in the comments, but it was on his own information though. But he um I don't know if that he asked for a fact check, so I went ahead and looked it up, but it was on his own information. So I don't know if that matters.
Yeah, I didn't know how to place that into the debate. I didn't know if Humble wanted to say anything. I would love
Yeah,
for
I mean,
that
you
for the
can fact
fact
check
check
your own
the
information.
other.
You can, I guess, if you want to be thorough, So
Right, I ain't mad at it. All right, and if you are voting for Nappa, please put a 2 in the comments. 2 in the comments. Okay, that completes round 1. We are going to round 2, and this round is going to be started by Nappa. Nappa, let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Nappa, your 7 minutes begins now.
All right. So I want to go to Charles Darwin, right? Because Europeans are at the center of this. I think our distaste for evolution is kind of accredited to a lot of the European research over the years. And Charles Darwin did make huge leaps in evolutionary theory. He wasn't the first, though. There's been people throughout history that's insinuated that we rose from the animal kingdom. But what made Darwin different was his natural selection theory, or the theory that the survival of the fittest theory, basically. And he gave a comprehensive explanation of how this theory works, and the idea that species change over time by natural selection and different mechanisms like adaptation that drove evolution. Now, he didn't understand how genetics worked. He had limitations because of the time that he was living in, but there were blind spots. There were blind spots that he was simply unaware of, that new discoveries only prove his theory, basically. So he was unaware of some of these theories, but these new findings still prove his theory of natural selection, genetic mutation, genetic diversity, migration patterns, the effects of climate on the genes, and sexual selection as well. So yeah, so his theory's been used for a lot of racist ideology, scientific racism, and this idea that certain races were more fit and evolved than others. And this promoted the idea that human societies were subject to survival of the fittest, and that would justify colonialism and imperialism and genocide. And the idea of European dominance was a result of their supposed genetic superiority. So I just wanted to just point this out because that tends to be why people don't understand or like evolution. Because even though, yeah, Darwin and Europeans definitely did contribute and use these revelations for racist theories, but it doesn't mean that the theory didn't have truth in it. And recent discoveries have made us demystify these theories that we're all equal, that all human beings are essentially of the same homogeneous, and that there really isn't too much of a difference between a European and an Asian or an African, right? And it's just very small differences that show up in the melanin concentration, the texture of the hair, and other things like that, height distribution, but very small differences. Other than that, the anatomy is similar and the same. So, again, there's extensive fossil records across the board: turtles, fish, skeletons, reptiles. I'm trying to find a way I can utilize the fact checking. I mean, I have to hear your rebuttal. Embryology is another thing where you find similarities. Like for example, humans, fish, and birds have similar structures in early development, suggesting a common ancestry in the embryo. And you'll find this in different animal kingdoms. This shows a common ancestry between us and birds and fish, right? Again, back to the universal genetic code. Um, Yeah, I'm trying to find out what else I can add to this, man. I want to ask you a question. How much time do I have? Issa?
3 minutes, 23 seconds.
I got some time. So again, man. I mean, I don't know if you have a presentation. You say that we've always, man. It's really hard because it kind of ends right there that you say, man has always been here. It always was. So that really just kind of throws out any origin story, any kind. I mean, I could work with something, a Bible story at least, something. Like there's nothing there to work with. That man has been here all the time, and that scientists are lying. And I just like, okay, is there any process? Even if what is your theory of adaptation? And why are we finding these bones that are different, that no longer exist, that are now extinct? What is that? What is that? And again, across the animal kingdom. So not just with humans, we're finding it with even the most smallest creatures, ants and bugs and different plants that no longer exist. So why are we finding that there's transitionary fossils all throughout history that we can find and are continuing to dig up? Now I'm done.
Okay, with 2 minutes to spare. Humble, we are going into your rebuttal round. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. I would like to fact check.
Yo, wait, hold on. Oh, okay.
Oh, you start timer?
No. Fact check. Do your thing.
Um, I would like to ask someone if they could find, does Charles Darwin theories have holes or have errors?
Okay, so we're gonna give our fact checkers some time. Oh, Fusion, you already ready?
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, is there a specifics to that, or just does Charles Darwin's theories have errors at all, or um, any specifics to that, or just does it have holes at all?
Well, does his evolution theory have his evolution theory? You, see, have his evolution theory been proven to have holes in it? Can you fact check that?
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so now what's gonna happen is you're going to do your rebuttal for 4 minutes. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I'm gonna stop you, and then I'm gonna let either of the fact checkers give you the answer. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your 4 minutes begins now.
Okay, so the reason I asked that question, I asked him to pull up that fact check, was because, and I'm a cam up, and I do apologize, I'm in my man cave and I'm reading off my, but and I will show my phone and show the sources if need be, and I will start using the fact checkers more. Um, but so the reason I even asked for that was because he talked about Charles Darwin a lot. And one thing he said about Charles Darwin, what it might have shot him in the foot, is Charles Darwin was limited in his understanding. He was only going off of his perception. So he really didn't know. So this map And even when and if I'm able to, I don't know if this is against the rules, and if it is, somebody could tell me. But I pointed it out in my first round, right? When it says, if I could find it, um, well, I didn't even get to it. So, the presence of fraudulent evidence and the misconception and the misinterpretation of data highlights a need for more critical examination of evolutionary theory. And such evolution remains an enigma challenging a prevailing explanation of our origins. I read the wrong part. I apologize. Um, I'm in my time, y'all.
Let me go ahead and
That's your time? Yeah. Yeah, Fusion, you can respond to his fact check.
okay. So just in the basic question of does Charles Darwin's evolution theory have been proven to have holes in it? So I won't read the whole thing. There's about 6 points, and incomplete fossil record is one, mechanism of inheritance, um, origin of complex structures, things like that. So since y'all went through the fossil record, I can read the fossil record. It does give the criticism and the current understanding. Um, you want me to just go through the whole thing, or just pick one of the spots?
Uh, yeah, you can pick one spot that really drives home what he needs to know.
Okay. Well, we mentioned the fossil record, so let's see. Um, Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection, um, which is the um, book on the origin of species. No, I won't even read all that. Let's just skip to that. Some points are often highlighted in discussions about perceived holes or limitations in Darwin's original theory. Incomplete fossil records. Criticism. When Darwin first proposed his theory, the fossil record was much less complete than it is today. Critics pointed out gaps in the fossil record as a weakness of Darwin's theory. Current understanding. The fossil record has since filled in many gaps, providing numerous examples of transitional forms that support the theory of evolution. However, because fossilization is a rare event, some gaps will always remain.
Thank you, Fusion. Humble, do you want to respond to that? You still have a minute and 30 seconds to respond. If not, we can move on if you would like to.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I would. And that's exactly why I wanted a fact check on that, because everything the brother Fusion Design just read just debunked everything Nappa just read. So all of these findings and skeletals, even as I was saying in my first with the Piltdown man and a Nebraska man, um, all of these things that I brought out debunk what he's saying. And so I also want to touch on, he said, give him a story. It can't just be, you know. And so, of course, there was like, if the biblical story helps, right? If the biblical story helps, right? Of course, that wasn't all, right? And the all manifested, right? And the all manifested everything in its unique structure. And when the all manifested everything in its unique structure, everything came with a specific cold. And if two colds does not link, they cannot create offspring unless they go through epigenetics. Now, why is this important? It's important because if it wrote everything with its own code, and mind you, I'm just giving a background because you want to know the background. But if he wrote everything with its own code, right? And that code is a specific code for that thing.
Time.
Oh, thank you. I'd rather
No
that there. I'll
problem.
take the next thing.
Yeah, save it for the next round. We're gonna go to Nappa's counter.
Okay, so actually what Fusion Red supported my claim, right? Because like I said earlier, Darwin was limited in his research due to the technology available at that time. But it didn't mean that he was wrong in his research. He was just limited, and new findings only support his evolutionary research. And again, he wasn't the first one to come up with evolution either, right? This theory has been around for centuries before he came around. But I want to also point another fact out that I want to get a fact check on. That Darwin did travel extensively, and he did have field research. He was in the Galapagos Islands, South America. He traveled through Brazil, Argentina, and Chile. So he wasn't just going off of his perception. He was in the field. And I hate that we are so focused on Darwin, but he was one of the first extensive researchers. I know he's European, and we have a bad taste in our mouth about Europeans, but he has field research that he provided in his research, and it holds up today still. The holes are only improvements on his theory, not to say that they were wrong. So they're not necessarily holes. They were just he was the first, and he passed the mantle to the next generation as they uncover more things. And of course, there's still room for a missing link. But yeah, that's just considering how much time there's been for evolution. It's a lot of time. So of course there might be some missing links. They might not be that big of a difference between what we found now with the Homo erectus and the Homo habilis and all these different ones that we have. There's dozens of them. But we will find changes, small variations, because there's micro and macro evolutions, right? So if we can get a fact check, was Charles Darwin did Charles Darwin have field research, or was he going off of his perception? Boom, if we can ask that one. How much time do I have left?
You have a minute and 56 seconds, but if you're gonna do a fact check, you gotta say it in the beginning to give them time to finish, so
Okay.
you could be able to respond to it. I don't know if either one of y'all caught it in the beginning when he first said it. Fact checkers.
Yeah, I caught it. Unless rep, if you got it, you can go. But yeah, I caught it.
The whether he had field research.
I mean, just
Yeah,
on
either
whether
one.
Darwin did field research.
It's showing here,
Yes, yes.
with regards to answering that question, Charles Darwin conducted extensive field research that significantly contributed to his theory of evolution by natural selection. Some key aspects of his fieldwork included his voyage to HMS Beagle. Darwin's most famous field research took place during his first 5-year voyage on the HMS Beagle in 1831 to 1836. He had his observations and collections. Darwin made detailed observations of wildlife and collected specimens, including plants, animals, and fossils. His observations of variations in species across different islands, such as different beak shape of finches and the Galapagos Islands, were pivotal in developing his theories.
Appreciate you. So Napa, you have a minute and 56 seconds to finish out the rebuttal, starting now.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, his theories and claims have been supported by archaeological evidence or fossil records. And also there's a difference between theory, scientific theory versus the layman term theory is two different things. Scientific theory is proven by actual tangible evidence and field report and field research, peer reviewed research. And we have to be very specific about what a theory is when they say evolutionary theory or Big Bang theory or any of these theories that are scientifically respected across the board. So yeah, again, man, it would help to hear some sort of process because you're being very vague about the origins, and you say these very vague things that I hear a lot of spiritual people saying, as if it's always been here. I mean, that's the biblical religious rhetoric that is plaguing the black community or our community, and really a lot of believers. Really, that's the distinction. It's not saying that you're a believer, but that's generally where that's rooted in. That's where that comes from, and it completely it's anti-scientific, it's anti-history, and it's anti-human because you're not understanding your biological nature and why we're human being and how life existed, how life spawned from natural selection. So yeah, I'm pretty much done.
Perfect. With 30 seconds to spare, we're about to go into Humble's second round statements. Humble, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready, sis. I'm ready.
Okay, your 7 minutes begins now.
Okay. So just to piggyback and finish up, I don't care where you plant an orange tree. I don't care how long you plant an orange tree. I don't care if you take a seed from one orange and plant it in Jamaica. It'll always be an orange. It'll never evolve into a pear. It'll never make a new species of a ginger fruit. It'll always be an orange. Now it will adapt to that land. It might become sweeter. You see what I'm saying? The coloring may change, right? But it will still always be an orange. And so when we talk about, back in the day, of course man was here. And just like animals today, and they only mate with their species. So when we talk about man, we only made it with our species. Now, did man evolve? Did man adapt over time? Of course, he learned how to make fire. He didn't become he didn't become an animal and do anything else. No, he learned. He started working with tools. He started showing elevated thinking. So and I'm gonna just go. This is my second round, right, sister?
Yes.
He's my second round. Okay, so I
Yes.
just wanted to wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? Um, just for the sake of argument, God made man just like God made everything else. But God made man, and He made other things. And He didn't make something, and then man came from that thing. However, so on my second round, we're going to show complexity of building blocks, right? That also poke holes in this evolution theory. Um, the Miller experiment of 1950 aimed to simulate early Earth conditions to test abiogenesis and hypothesis that life arises from non-living matter. Although the experiment was successfully produced some amino acids, it fell short of demonstrating how these could naturally assemble into proteins or living cells. The formation of the polypeptide chains requires specific peptide bonds that process in living organisms involving complex systems and enzymes. Replicating this process in abiotic conditions remains significant challenge. Understanding the gap between simple chemical compounds and complexities of life, which means, right, um, simple as evolutionists say, right, or we started simple and then we gain more complex over time. That won't happen, right? Because the simplicity don't have it can only so that's another thing about evolution, right? Something with its own gene or own trait can only pass that on. It can't pass on a trait that it does not have. Okay, and irreducible complexity. Irreducible complexity is a concept introduced by Michael Behe, posited by certain biological systems such as the bacterial flagellum and are complex that have evolved through gradual modifications. These systems require all their parts to function, suggesting they cannot have arisen through small evolutionary changes. Darwin himself acknowledged, since we wanted to talk about Darwin himself acknowledged that if a complex organ could not form through numerous successive modifications, his theory would break down. Modern discoveries of cellular machinery reveals complexity that challenge the gradualistic model of evolution. In conclusion, the challenges posed by the complexities of life building blocks, thermodynamic principles, genetic entropy, and reducible complexity underscores the enigmatic nature of evolutionary theory. These scientists these scientists hurdles highlight
Minute, 30
the need
seconds.
for okay. Um, and so even with that, I want to go back because I want to highlight that even what I wrote or Eli just read, right? Um, it goes back to this is why they had to put a orangutan jaw on a human fossil because they had to support that theory, right? But when you go back and you see, well, wait a minute, this was a human jaw, not an orangutan jaw. What happened? Their whole theory breaks down because it wasn't supposed to be humans at that time. They were supposed to be ape-like creatures. But then when they proved that they were fully human and not ape-like creatures, now it's like, okay, well then they must have came later. And so this is where his theory falls apart because there's nowhere where you get this group of species and then out of the blue they transition into a new species. We've never seen it. We're never gonna see it. Anytime a species
Time.
adapts,
Time.
thank you.
No problem. Nappa, you are going to start your rebuttal. If you have to fact check, say it now.
No, I don't have to fact check this round. No, I'm ready.
Okay. 4 minutes begin now.
So yeah, you're right. We'll never see a change in our lifetime because how much time you need for a macro evolution. Um, See, we might see micro evolutions. You might see different distributions of height, or blindness, or color sightness, or like small micro evolutions between a few generations. But when you're talking about large periods of time, macro evolutions or large evolutionary leaps, you do see species variation. You do see that there are changes that happen over a large period of time that eventually make its way. So it's never an instant leap. It's never going to be an instant leap. It's never been an instant leap. No species has made an instant leap from one point to another. It takes a lot of time. Again, it's really hard to conceptualize million versus billion, or even a couple of hundred versus thousands to a million to 50 million. That's a lot of time to consider any sort of evolution or any sort of change. You're only going to see micro evolution. So, I mean, yeah, you're arguing from a standpoint that is religious, that is spiritually based. You mentioned God. There's no such. I mean, there's no proof of God. I ain't gonna say there's no such thing as God. There's no scientific proof of God, right? There's geological proof that the Earth had stages. It's gone through many stages before it got to this point here. Even before Pangea. I mean, there's points where this Earth was not capable of sustaining life, and it had to go through many transition, many epochs, many stages, to where you get to now, to where we have different species now, the Homo sapien, the dogs and lions and cats and tigers and all that stuff. So now we see a lot of variation, but it had to go through a lot to get to that point, the Earth. So, yeah, man, you're arguing from a point of God and stuff. It's kind of hard to argue that, that we've always been here. The Adam and Eve theory. That would make no sense biologically. Everything we can observe in nature that's a living organism has a beginning and an end, or a beginning and an end, a biological beginning, a genetic code, and yeah, I'm trying to conceptualize this for you, man. It's really hard to time, man, time is it's a lot of time. And a human being is about, the Homo sapiens is about 400,000 years old, and a Homo genus is about 1.5. And before that, there was different epochs of the we had common ancestors with rats, rodents, stuff like that before they got bigger, lemurs and stuff, and eventually eating more, the brain side expand, survival of the fittest was very important, escaping predators, defeating predators. So you start to see small variations over time, and then you get to the macro variations, to where you get the modern day version of that. You understand? So, yeah, I'm done. I'm gonna submit my time now. Damn.
No problem. Humble, we're going to go to your counter. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. Um,
Okay, hold on. Your time begins now.
um, I don't know where yeah, okay, I mentioned God, but I don't know where the religion comes from. When we talking about science, right? Um, and we're strictly talking about evolution of species, right? When we know, without a shadow of a doubt, if we want to stick it to science, there's principles that make this world exist and make things function the way they're supposed to function. So when you saying that, and it's not even an Adam and Eve story, because I didn't say that man came from one man and one woman. No, I said we've always been here. So that means there was no first man and no first woman. Now again, we talking about the Big Bang theory, which is another theory. That the evolution theory, which is another theory, trying to support. Can you ever name a time where the Earth was not? You have estimated 4.2 billion. They don't know. Just like Darwin didn't know. And so what did they do? They start priming DNA. Wait a minute. This couldn't have came from that. Because they don't even share the same genetics. They're strictly sticking to humans. This is how we know we never came from the apes. because all of the findings that they found with the ape jaw, like I was just talking about the Piltdown man and the Nebraskan man, what happened? Oh, wait a minute. These were fakes. This was a real skull to an orangutan head to make it. So that he's talking about are based on this theory that not only have holes in it, but have hoax, fakes, fraudulence. Darwin himself even said it. And so, this is what
1 minute.
allowed evolution to remain an enigma, because they don't know, and we'll never know, because we'll never get to the origin. They can make theories, but then what happens when someone comes along and say, okay, you said they cousins, but then when we do the blood test, you say they cousins by bone structure. But then we do the blood test and we find out, oh, wait a minute, they have nothing in common. It's the same thing with the whale, right? Oh, you got one theory that says that the whale used to be a dog. You got another theory that says the whale used to be a bear.
Okay, perfect. We're about to go to the judges. Nappa, you raised your hand? Can't be anything that you want to say about a round. You can't add
I did
on
want to
anything.
fact check something. I kind of forgot. Oh, it's that Plickton man. What's it called again, bro? What's it called, Humble? What's that man you keep saying? That.
Who?
You keep bringing up the dude with the fake fossil record. What is it called again? Plickton man or something? What's his
Oh, the
name?
Piltdown man. The Piltdown
Piltdown
man.
man. Okay, I do want to fact
All
check
right,
this.
hold up. All
Okay, go
right,
ahead.
well, hold it for your rebuttal round because we're about to go into another round. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
It's a queen.
So we're going to, yes.
Can I get a spelling on the pill down man? Or can someone type it?
Can we get a spelling on a
Yeah.
pill down, man?
Yes, I got you. Hold on 1 second. It's Piltdown.
Perfect. Okay, so while they are doing that, we're gonna go to Ruby first. Ruby, what did you think?
All right, Miss Cisa. All right, what did I think? All right, that went a lot of places for me. That went a lot of places. I spent some of my time going back over some of the information that I heard. Part of one of the things starting off with you, Brother Humble. Hello, hello. In your um, round, and then in your rebuttal, you had mentioned two things that for me that made my decision, in addition to the regular criteria. Part of your response and your argument was back to Darwin. Darwin, after it was your fact check that was called, I believe Fusion stated that the story, right, will continue to evolve, and they've just simply added to it that there will be continuous holes. Right. So I think that kind of solidified that right there. Would almost kind of lose yourself a point there. But then you went back and kept arguing Darwin after it was a moot point. Right. And then secondly, I was really listening and your argument about evolution, and one of the first things you brought up was fruit. Okay, you said oranges, they might get sweeter, they might get a little bit bigger. But from my understanding, what you are actually arguing is artificial selection, which is a part of evolution. So for your argument, I'm going to go ahead and give you a 3, brother. Nappa, greetings. How you doing? I did appreciate the full presentation. I like the style and the responses along with the facts. I couldn't find much contention in what you said there, so I'm going to go ahead and round that out with a 5. And I'm done, Miss Issa.
Thank you, Miss Ruby. We are going to Munchie.
Peace. Let me get to the kitchen again. So, we'll start off with Nappa, per usual, as I do. So, Nappa, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and give you a 6 for this round, man, because yeah, and I'll say this: I appreciate both you brothers taking heed and utilizing the fact checks and camming up and sourcing, showing your points of reference and sources. Was great. The assertiveness stayed the same. I do like that you caught with Fusion when Fusion said that. I peeped that as well, but I have to stay quiet in the background. But I'm going to give you a 6, man. I think it was a good presentation. You produced facts, showed where you were coming from, and your rebuttals were good as well. In defense, as always. So then I move on to Humble. You know Humble. Okay, so and Ruby said a lot of what I was thinking, so I have to reword of what I was saying. So utilizing science, right, and the scientific process, right, but then you turn around and knock the process of the scientific process of how things are done to get to these points of gnosis that we're at. A fact is a fact until it's proven not to be a fact, and that new fact will be peer reviewed and tested and tried to be proven to be the new fact. And that's how science works to a high degree. You know what I'm saying? And you're utilizing science in your defense, which is not good. So, but I do appreciate you for utilizing the fact checks as well. You showed your camera where you're getting your information from, what you're presenting as well. You've been assertive as well. I do like that your rebuttals. So when you come back, you do have some new information. And just for the stump that I seen, and I won't call it a stump, but just that new information of the Piltdown Man, which I didn't know about either. I'm gonna head and shoot you up to a 4 because I was giving you a 3 as well. But you are presenting new information to me, and I believe to a lot of people in the crowd, and I appreciate you for that. So I'm gonna leave you at a 4, big bro.
Thank you very much. And now we are going to J Mo.
Okay. First off, both of y'all came out swinging this time. It was a much better round, much more information, a little bit more screen sharing. So I'm gonna have to give both of y'all 5. I think that was a pretty even round there. The thing was that I don't even know if I'm allowed to do this, but I took upon myself to look up this Charles Darwin theory on my end, and I worded it a little bit different. So I put in mind, is Charles Darwin's theory fallible? And I'm going to just read this little part. It ain't going to take long and I'm done. It says, Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection is generally accepted by scientists, but some say it has flaws and could be falsified by certain evidence. There's list 4 of them. It says fossil record, mutations, supernatural creation, and religious beliefs. In this last paragraph, I'm going to be done after this. It says, Darwin himself also had doubts about his theory, but he proposed a test that has yet to be proven in his theory. Darwin predicted that the sudden appearance of life's major body plans in the Cambrian era would eventually be shown to be part of a gradual progression. However, more than 150 years of investigation have not found the predicted precursor. So, with that being said, I think Humble swung a little bit harder with this fallibility thing. So that's why he shot it up for me. And Nappa, you pretty much maintained where you was at. Like, you came back and you swung back too. So I can appreciate both of y'all for that. So both of y'all get a 5 in my book.
Perfectly said. So we are about to go to the audience. Being that Nappa started that round, if you are voting for Nappa, please put a 1 in the comments. 1 in the comments. 1 for Nappa. Okay. And if you are voting for Humble, please put a 2 in the comments. 2 in the comments. Okay, I was waiting for one more, so it looks like we have a tie for the audience's vote. So I will be giving, I'm sorry, Organic, you're too late. I'm giving a point to both players, well, debaters, really. Okay, we're going into the last and final round. This is your final round, so whatever you did not say before, say it now. Please do not repeat information that has already been moot, says Ruby. And let's bring out the best information that we can, because this is the final round. We are going to Humble first. Humble, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready, sis. I'm ready.
Okay, your 7 minutes begins now.
All right. So, one challenge that this evolution theory, and I want to state this before I go further. We did go over religious things, but this is not whether my personal belief, whether on evolution or not. It's whether these evolution theories that we're claiming and teaching in these classrooms are facts. That's what I'm here to prove. That these that we're claiming, and I still want to get an answer. I know somebody was talking about. I know he said he wanted to start for the pilt down there. I still want to answer that because we didn't get an answer. But so the evidence. So my position is to claim that this evidence that he's bringing out is not real. And is this you said this is our last and final round, right, sis?
Last round, you have 5 minutes, 50 seconds.
Okay. So I actually wanna touch on some things he said, right? And I wanna actually emphasize because and I do wanna apologize, I wasn't camming up. I am just getting off of work, just chilling, and just for the points that was made earlier, I ain't wanna get banned. I am working on certain devices. So I decided to do my presentation. However, moving forward, I do want to just touch over and emphasize certain points in this debate that is important. And again, my position is to show that this information, these facts that he's bringing out, these common that's being taught, I'm actually saying, yo, that don't stand up. That don't stand up. That don't stand up either. And it don't stand up because it can't stand up. And so we're gonna go over some reasons why it can't stand up. Right? Number one, because simple cell molecules cannot evolve into complex life. Right? I went over that in my second round. I was trying to get to that in my second round, where I was breaking that down. I can't find one, but I was breaking it down in my second round, and then time moved forward, right? So I hit on that, bam, right? The second one was the fossil records. He was saying, well, we got fossil records to prove this. We got fossil records to prove that. We got fossil records to prove that. But then I came and said, hey, well, these are not accurate fossil records. And not only are these not accurate fossil records, but you're missing fossil records. And then, evolution, right? Even if we do accept it as a theory, and I talked about this too a little bit in my first round, even if we do accept it as a theory, right, it doesn't explain the origin of life either. So this is why I had to reaffirm my position, because we ain't talking about belief or belief versus science and none of that. We're talking about what it is. What's the furthest we can go back? We know we can't go back to the beginning, but what's the furthest we can go back? And we know the furthest that we can go back, we was here because we're here now in the present day. Did we go through adaptation? Yeah, we did. Did we go through evolution? No. But because of this man named Darwin, who bred this evolution theory, and this is why I told the two separate definitions in the beginning, right? Because what he did, he just threw evolution on it. And he was like, well, you know what? Then I noticed this, so we're going to say this is adaptation. But that's what he was talking about the whole time. And then when we came out showing that, yo, your evolution ain't matching up, something up, what did he start doing? And I just want to point out that my brother J-Mo even agreed with me. He started saying, Dad, I don't even know if it was going to hold up because they got DNA science. So, and that goes back to the first point when he even said, he shot himself in the foot. He said, Darwin didn't know enough. And then J-Mo said, well, yeah, he even said he doubted himself. And this not even to go, and again, we said we wasn't going to go into Darwin, but it's because he propagated. He wasn't the first one to say, man, but his theory became popular. And it's this theory that we're talking about. And so when we're talking about this theory, right, I showed the difference between what Darwin would call evolution, from changing one species to another, and his ignorance of what was actually happening, to what we see on a daily basis. And what they check in psychologists. That's my time?
1 minute.
Okay. And also, we go back, and I've been touching on it as well, we can't go back to a time when man was not. Because if that was the case, we'd go back to before we had written records. And we know we had people then. And so again, my point here is to prove that we didn't come from apes. We wasn't ape-like creatures back in the day. We wasn't primates. Mind you, he said we was primates. What I pulled out about the Piltdown man, and I want to get a fact check if I can. While the Piltdown Man, I do want to overemphasize as well. Um,
Time. Are you using your grace period?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Start your grace period now.
And I want to get a fact check on a Nebraska man.
Okay, your fact
If
checkers
I
will be looking for Nebraska man. No problem.
I land my plane. Thank
You
y'all for
landing the
allowing me.
plane? No problem. Okay, we are going into Nappa's rebuttal. Nappa, you ready for your 4 minutes?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, are you fact checking anything? The pit down man?
Yeah.
Okay, as a fact checker?
Well, I want y'all to word it a certain way. So, does the Pilt Man refute fossil records?
Okay.
Okay, let me put that in.
I
I could tell you the answer to that kind of off of what we already have, but let me put that in specifically.
Okay, so we're going to start your 4 minutes. While they're doing that, I'm going to stop you at 1 minute 30 seconds so you can get your answers, okay?
Okay.
All right, we're starting 4 minutes and now.
All right, I'm ready. Y'all ready?
Yeah, you ready? It started.
Okay, cool.
Now, man.
So while y'all do the Pilt Man thing, so scientific theory versus theory, I want to reemphasize this, right? Because the everyday use of theory is a untested hunch or a guess, right? But then the scientific use of that theory would be a substantiated explanation of the natural phenomenon, or tested over time, scientific evidence. So when they do come up with these theories about evolution and Big Bang theory, they're working with a lot of different tools and resources and information and tangible information that gives them this scientific explanation. It's not a guess. It's not a guess anymore. So I mean, maybe they should change that. Maybe they should redefine a theory versus the other theory. But that's the difference. A very distinct definition when they're coming up with the evolutionary theory or the Big Bang. So, I mean, I'll just go ahead and say it with that whole Piltman thing. That does not falsify all the other millions of different fossil records that institutions from all over the world, not just European, not just American, but from institutions from damn near any established or modern country, has found fossil records in their establishments and universities, and have found pretty much things that align with the other establishments across the world. And you find chronological patterns in fossil records of all kinds. So you haven't showed any. I mean, I could cam up again and show. We can continue to show the tangible evidence. You know, tangible evidence, man. Again, these fossil records, and my thing's kind of blurry right now. Fossil records, right here. These are tangible artifacts, and then you see trend, and they have another term called transitional fossils. Again, transitional fossils are species that have similar anatomy to us and creatures that no longer exist. So, I mean, I brought this point up again, right? So, again, another thing is adaptation is a mechanism under the category of evolution. So you're trying to distinguish adaptation versus evolution as they're two different things. Like, no, adaptation is the one of the many things that's happening simultaneously across the time of human life or
Pause.
organic life. You know.
Pause, real quick. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds. I just want to give the fact checkers a second to give you your answers, and then you will be able to respond. Fact checkers?
All right. Unless you want to go rep, but I got the Piltdown Man. Um, so in the question of directly, does the Piltdown Man refute the fossil records? The answer is the Piltdown Man hoax does not refute fossil records. Instead, it serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of scientific rigor, skepticism, and peer review in the study of human evolution. The Piltdown Man was a deliberate forgery, combining the jawbone, he already said this, and modifying him to appear ancient, and it was accepted by scientists in 1912. When the Piltdown Man was discovered in 1912, it was initially accepted by scientists as evidence of the missing link between apes and humans. However, from the start, there were doubts and criticisms from various experts over the years as more fossil records of early humans were discovered, particularly in Africa and Asia. The Piltdown Man began to seem increasingly out of place. In the 1950s and 40s, advances in dating techniques and better understanding of human evolution led to exposure of the Piltdown Man as a hoax in 1953. The forgery was confirmed through chemical testing, showing that the bones were not as old as initially claimed. Let's see. And then there goes into the fossil record. I won't read all the rest of that, but that's the baseline answer to that. If you like the rest, I can give it though.
Is that sufficient, or Rep, would you like to say anything as well?
My fact-checking revealed the same, that it does not refute the fossil records for a variety of reasons and rationales. It says here's why. The scientific method, the Piltdown Man case demonstrates the necessity for multiple lines of evidence, including advanced testing, cross-referencing of other findings, and it showed why. Individual finds must be carefully analyzed. The scientific method can identify correct and a variety of other things against the DNA, but basically it reworded everything that Fusion suggested.
Perfect. Okay, Nappa, you have 1:29. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, begin now.
So those two claims, those two hoax, that doesn't disqualify all the other thousands of evidence of fossil records. So staying stuck on that hunch and then not exploring all the other confirmed fossil records, that would be disingenuous and anti-scientific. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm just trying to see if I could wrap it up real quick. Let me think of a few things. And again, addressing the misconceptions, man. Like we have to address the misconceptions and understanding all the different functions of what evolution is, and also conceptualizing time. You need to look up time and how much time. What is the difference between a billion and a million? Like that helps a lot. That helped me understand this concept a lot more, and understand how much time it takes for an organism to evolve. You know, again, micro versus macro evolution, small changes over time versus big changes eventually, and then that's when you see the leaps. So we live in a modern society with technology, so we're able to see things from kind of a bird's eye view. And with all this new data that's coming in with comparison with photo records, photography, videography, we're able to capture so much more in the 21st century, and we're able to cover so much of a scale of time, and we can compare and contrast things. We've never been able to do that before. And with that evidence, okay, so I'm done.
Perfect. Humble, you ready for your counter?
Yes, yes.
Okay, 4 minutes on the clock. Time begins now.
Okay. And so, oh man, I couldn't get through my whole first round, so I know, and my rebuttal round. See, this is why I'm able to go back to my rounds because a lot of what he's saying, because I was able to go first, I was debunking everything he was saying, right? Just like when he keep talking about all these fossils, right? I never said that the Piltdown Man and and the um and the Nebraska Man were, they disregarded the fossil records. I said they were hoax, which everybody proved, right? I said these because they were pushing this, and even as the pictures, right? He was showing these are led by a narrative, and this narrative pushed that these were ape-like people, and just like three people went, these were not ape-like people, and so it wasn't, hey, these is gonna disprove fossil records. No, what disproves fossil records is the fact that fossil records get reevaluated. That's what disproves fossil records, right? And I wasn't able to get to this, in my presentation, but it says the reevaluation of fossil records. Evidence has led to significant shifts in our understanding of evolutionary links. So he's saying fossil record this, fossil record that, fossil record this. But then when we go check out the fossil records, what I say earlier, hey, the fossil records say this, but the DNA say that. But then when you do go check the fossil records even say something different. Because all of this is based off of a theory, a way of thinking, an enigma. Right? And so let's keep going. It it says recent polygenomic analysis of echinoids such as sea urchins and sand dollars have prompted a re-evaluation of their fossil records. Despite their excellent fossilization potential, discrepancies have emerged between molecular data and fossil evidence, particularly concerning the timing of evolutionary events. These analogies have revolved around inconsistencies in previously well-constrained nodes of echinoid evolution, suggesting that traditional hypotheses may need revision. This sees amplifies how new model molecular data can challenge established interpretations. See, this is what he was doing, right? When he was saying, hey, we got this or this. Hey, we got that. These are interpretations. This is why he keeps saying fossil records, but he can't give you a fossil record.
1 minute.
Because these are interpretations. And he's following ideology. This is why we got into Charles Darwin earlier. And because Charles Darwin shot himself in the foot, his whole ideology and theory goes to shoot. And so it's the advancing DNA staining techniques have produced new insights into the preservation of genetic material in ancient fossils, challenging previous assumptions about the decade and longevity of DNA. This has implications of understanding the evolutionary history of species and the aggregate of polygenic reconstruction based of DNA. These examples illustrate the dynamic nature of polygenetical research and the importance of integrating.
Time. That's your time. Okay, save it for the next round, for your next rebuttal. You still have one more rebuttal, so please keep your mind on what you were trying to say. Nappa, we're about to start your final round. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Your 7 minutes begins now.
All right, so these would be fossil records, right? I think I've shown an abundance of fossil records this whole time. Like, there's fossil records, and these fossil records show creatures that no longer exist today, that share common anatomy or biological makeup of creatures that might live today. For example, a saber-toothed tiger. You can probably assume what its predecessor would look like or would be, but you find fossil records, fossils of creatures that no longer exist all throughout. So that would be the proof right there. It's kind of hard to refute that. We don't know what that is. We've never seen that before, right? And we know that that's when they study these bone records, it's a reptilian creature more than likely, right? That no longer exists today, and the size is unheard of or unseen. So this shows that there are creatures that no longer exist today, right? Or the ancestors of creatures that exist today, right? So what else did you say? again, the Charles Darwin thing. You didn't. I really hate, and I want to bring up El Jahiz. I'm gonna bring up a few people actually. I'm gonna go to my presentation real quick. But he wasn't the first. Uh, let's say he wasn't the first to propose the concept of evolution, right? You have El Jahiz, which I put down here somewhere. I had a presentation. Sorry, y'all. El Jahiz, he wrote the Book of Animals, early theories of natural selection, which natural selection is what Charles Darwin would call it, but what he called it was the struggle for existence, which basically is the same thing. The animals would have these waxing and wanings that they would, whether it's the drought, whether it was survival of the fittest, whether it was the climate changes at the time, and you start to see these changes in these animal creatures. So this is written probably 900 to 1,000 years before Darwin existed. I might need to get a fact check. Well, I don't need that fact check. No. Well, the point is, El Jahiz existed long before Charles Darwin existed. So this theory you find across all cultures. You find another person, I forgot his name, Anaximander and Jean Baptiste Lamarck. And these are other historical figures across several different cultures that came up with the theory, the same theory that Charles Darwin came to the theory of. The only reason why we know about Charles Darwin is because we speak English. And he was from Germany or London somewhere, and so he has a monopoly on these terms. Well, that's why we know about Charles Darwin in our culture. But obviously, with us having a distaste for European philosophy, European science, we automatically discredit them and say that they're nonsense and they're full of shit. When there's plenty of evidence that these men and that these other scientists that he's inspired, that came before him, have come across, that all line up. It always lines up. That's the beautiful thing about science. One culture can come up with mathematics and science, and at the same time as another culture have no contact with them, but then can't come to the same conclusion. And you find that all throughout history, amongst a bunch of different topics. So, I want to emphasize again the scientific racism, right, that was used because of Darwin. Darwin didn't support racism, honestly. He wasn't an advocate for racism and hierarchy, right? But people like the Nazis and other people, they used the Darwin scientific racism to promote racial superiority. So that's kind of why we really, I think that's the root of it. I'm pretty sure that's the root of your distaste and most people's distaste. And then also being introduced to religion, biblical religion, also distorted our history, our understanding of time and history. It's completely distorted how we look at human beings, human nature. Issa? Oh, 3 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. I think that religion and biblical thinking and scientific, and sci-fi, science fiction has distorted our understanding of science, and it takes away from how we understand our brain, like your fight or flight responses. That has an evolutionary history. How we navigate stress, our coping mechanisms, how we use that to protect us from danger, right? How social hierarchies and human behavior, group dynamics, all these things right here is evolutionary rooted in our natural survival, our natural instincts when we were hunter gatherers and nomads. So I think I'll end there. I think I'll end this. I got 3 minutes. I'm pretty sure I got like another minute left.
You have 2 minutes, and this is your final round. Are you ending?
No, okay. I've got one more thing. Let me think of some things. So there's like other hypotheses of how life started, right? Like the deep sea origins, right? And like hypothermal vents where mineral-laden water provided energy and the chemical building blocks for unique life, unique conditions, kind of like a cosmic soup. It was like a soup, and then over time, over billions of years, you start to see microorganisms combining together, and as you start to see the early building blocks, billions of years ago, and then eventually you get to, us here today. And panspermia is another theory. I think I covered this earlier, of asteroids that contain microorganisms on it. And it kind of helps with, like, even if you're trying to believe like the extraterrestrial story, like we did kind of come from the cosmos. through asteroids, microorganisms that would plant seeds that would plant the earth or plant the ocean, and you would see the earlier forms of life evolving from there. So there might be extraterrestrial origins in a way, in a sense,
1 minute.
of early microorganisms. Not to say life itself or conscious life, but the ingredients for life being on these asteroids, and not just human life or mammal life or reptilian life, but all life. Just the ingredients, planting the ocean, like keyword sperm, keyword spermia, and planting like a womb. That Earth is kind of like a womb, and the asteroids are like a semen reaching the womb. And I think that's more beautiful than any other story that you guys make up or believe in, or that we were always here. That doesn't make sense, man. There's nothing in nature that you could see that equivalent of. Everything dies, and everything is spawns out of that. You see cycles all through nature. Cycles. It's like endless cycles of anything, but you always see a beginning, a middle, and end, and that's where evolution uh, has a strong strong case for it. But go ahead. I'm done.
Time. Right on time. Humble, we are ready for your rebuttal. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, your 4 minutes begins now.
Okay. So we shot down the Charles Darwin theory, and so he decided to bring other like theories, right? But we know these are just people interpretations, right? Now, when he was talking about the swirling of the earth and things of that nature, okay, we know that through science, right? But now let's talk about this life thing that we're talking about, right? And this continuous circle, things of that nature. We know entropy. The concept of genetic entropy, right? Proposed by scientists like John Stafford argues that accumulation of mutation over generations lead to degradation. So if we were, like the evolution say, to evolve into something because of the mutations, right? We would actually be degenerating because of entropy. That's how entropy works. And so, unless we're saying that this theory overrides a natural law, then I don't care who cites the theory or who makes claims to the theory. It can't be correct because things don't get better over time. Natural living things don't get better over time. They degrade. So why are there orangutans? Why are there apes? Are we just a special kind of ape? Did we just, was the first apes to find fire? Well, why didn't the other apes find fire? And so, of course, it's millions and millions of years, but time is still rolling. And I still see orangutans and monkeys and apes. And you say, I come from that? And not even no, on no anthropocentrism type stuff. No, I'm better than that. But we can see that we've always been our own species. They've been their own species. And so, this is where it breaks down. Hold on 1 second. And so, this is where we get the
1
DNA
minute.
and RNA stuff, right? Because recent studies on cephalopods, right, such as octopus and squid, reveal an unusual form of evolution. See, we ain't even keep going to humans because we already know we didn't come from apes. So let's talk about the other little animals that we claim, come from other species. right, has a unique adaptation mechanism that allows cephalopods to alter their protein rapidly, providing a form of short-term adaptability and expensive long-term genetic. And this is finding challenges traditional views on how genetic changes drive this process, suggesting that um, this operates in different various organisms, right? So it's like you can
Time.
show me. That's
Time.
time. Okay.
That is time. Okay, Nappa, for your final counter. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, your 4 minutes begins now.
So the reason why we see apes and other primates, again, there's over 500 different types of primates. Counting too, like for some reason they're still finding new not new primates, but new variations of primates and subgroups of these primates. So there's this branch that happens and across all species. All species have these different branches. You see, like the subgroups from these different genesis that happen. So that's why you're still able to see chimpanzees, orangutan, lemurs. Um, Let me see if I can pull this up in a second. You can find this all across the animal kingdom. Carnivores, canines, even between the bat species, all the different types of bats and apes. Okay, here we go. So yeah, you ever see all these the gibbons, right? The apes, the lar gibbon, uh, this common chimpanzee, the siamang, the bonobo, and you see yeah the mountain gorilla, and these are all their own distinct like subcategories in the primate family, and we're all under the the mammal family tree to put it short. See all these different types. You have the black-headed night monkey, the Central American spider monkey. So we all share a common ancestry or a common genus, and you can go into the other kind of creatures too that share common ancestry, the beaver and the rodent creatures. Elephants have their own moles. So anyway, you see like you're going to see variations and different offsprings and offshoots across the animal kingdom, and human beings are just one of those. We're very small. We make up only 0.01% of the life on human earth, the life on Earth. We're a very small portion of the family tree, and we're just a branch. We just happen to be the most psychologically evolved creature with our thumbs. The way our thumbs developed, being bipedal, able in how our brains develop, the different parts of the brain that developed over time, giving us a psychological advancement or a psychological enhancement in our environment to make tools and control fire and to clean ourselves and to walk long distances and gather large portions and to organize. That's another thing that's kind of unique to certain creatures, but like especially humans to organize. So you see common ancestry across the animal kingdom. You see common characteristics with primates as well, and how we socialize. They're much more primitive, but they still have some of the very basic instincts that we have, as far as natural selection, sex, hierarchy, behavior, language, symbolism. You
One
find
minute.
that. 1 minute. Another thing I found interesting recently is the chimpanzees in Africa, West Africa, that scientists are saying are coming into their own stone age. Chimpanzees working with tools and controlling fire, and even showing signs of doing ceremony and ritual. So you see like behaviors across the board that are very similar, and I understand. You don't want to be a monkey. We're not necessarily monkeys. We are in the primate family, though. So understanding the definitions can help us again, like understand, like demystify or understand what it means to be a primate in our common ancestry, and not trying to overcompensate and be angels or men that's been here for since the beginning or whatever that means. We know that things have cycles. You can observe these cycles out in space and down to a molecular level. So
Time.
yeah,
Time. Okay, you guys, that concludes the debate portion. We are about to get into the judging. But before we get into the judging, I just want to remind you guys that I have a goddess panel coming up Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. September 8th at 1 p.m. Eastern, Tanya will be debating Elder Flynn, the 90s gangster rap. Did it ruin the black community? Shout out to organicclub.com. That's club with the K, Puffs and Petals. Humble has a debate tomorrow on Kiss Happiness panel at 6 p.m. tomorrow. That's Eastern as well. Don't forget the after show, the Beagle Break Room. That's going to be on Ruby's panel, the Beagle Break Room. All our conversation. And also just stay tuned for a Let's Talk About Men panel. This is for the ladies. That is it. We're going to go to Munchie Man for his final scores.
All right. Start with you, Humble. Um, I the assertiveness, and the effort that you put. I see the effort there as well, but I think you wasted time trying to go back and reprove things. I think you should have left the judgment to be judgment, and move forward and present more info. The fact that you fact check, that's the what was this man? The Slip Man. I forget his name. Cool down. So whatever the guy's name is, right? The was proven to be a hoax as well. Really cut you down at your foundation. That was you utilized that from your opening statements to the end, and that was cut down. I'm gonna have to go ahead and stick with the 3 for this round, brother. It just couldn't prove the thing you're saying, no matter how well you worded it. Nappa, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a 5 for this round, bro. I think you did great, like you did last time, and you presented the information. You utilize the screen, and that was part of your 3 as well. Sorry, Humble, going back to you. Part of your 3, you didn't utilize the screen this round, and it showed. And you went going back. But anyways, now, but you utilize the screen, you presented information, you utilize the book. This is not seen here a lot. You don't see pages being ran through people's fingers while they're presenting the information. A lot of it is digital, so I'll give you that as well. But I'm gonna stick with my 5, bro. Both of y'all did a great job. Humble, unfortunately, there's just isn't enough information or provable information to prove your point. And that's just where I'll stay at, man. 3 and a 5.
Perfect. We are going to J-Mo.
I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet. 4, 5 for Nappa. I think the tilt down thing kind of shot you in the foot. um, there was a little bit more detail coming from Nappa's side, and I kind of feel like it was more or less like what Munchie said, like it was an uphill battle for you to climb this. So, I mean, just for future reference, you might want to be a little bit more articulate. I mean, not to say you're not articulate, not because you are, but when it comes to disseminating the information and getting it out there, try to be a little bit more concise. Um, Shout out to both of y'all. Y'all both did y'all thing. But I'm have to go 4 or 5 for Nappa. So.
So this Humble has a 4 and Nappa has a 5. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. I thought
Just
I
to
said. Is
be
that what I said?
okay.
Is that messed up? Okay. Yeah, that's
You
what I
said
thought I
no. You
said.
was
Yeah.
just saying 4 or 5, but I
Oh, I'm
got you.
sorry.
We here. We
Okay.
here.
All right.
Just being sure. And Ruby, last but not least, what do we have?
Okay. Um, hmm. Hold on, I'm writing down one more thing I thought about. All right. So, I'm going to continue in the way that I started. I'm going to start off again. Hey, Humble. Congratulations on your presenting style tonight. I think you did a good job of posing questions, right? Like, and if I was looking for like a seminar or even a presentation on just some things that I might be interested in, or just those things that be out there in the wind, I would definitely would have listened to all of this. But the problem is here though is that you pose a lot of questions, but not enough evidence, right? That was the problem. Like we like questions, but I was kind of here for some answers, some more of them. And then the ones that your harder evidence, I think what you were trying to do with that tilt man, you mentioned everybody knows that that was a hoax. And I think what you were going with that was to say, okay, this is a hoax, everyone. I get that. But I don't think that that worked in your favor because, again, with any of this sort of evidence, right? The margin of error, those two that you brought up, in comparison to all the empirical evidence, didn't make enough of a stance for me to feel really secure in any of the arguments. Um, so I would maybe consider adding some more to those things. And if you're going to use Tiltman and Darwin in that way, I actually wouldn't even use them. Never mind. But Humble, I love the way that you argue, your passion, and for that, mainly, okay, giving you a 3 in that round. All right. I love you though. Love you though. Can't wait for your next one. Nappa, coming on in on you. Listen, it was pretty consistent from the very beginning, just like Humble's was. As far as presentation goes, tonality, style. I think you did a great job. What I mostly appreciated was the consistent information, right? Like as the other judges mentioned, it was consistent, and you can like go and look it up, right now, right? And then I think most of your fact checks worked out in your favor. So kudos on that. I'm giving you a 5 on this round. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Perfect. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. We are going to the audience. Being that Humble started that round, we are starting with him. If you are voting for Humble, please put a 1 in the comments. 1 in the comments for Humble. Okay, and if we are going for Nappa, please put a 2 in the comments. 2 in the comments. Thank you. That point is going to Nappa. So, for the fact checkers, is there anything that you want to say? Any facts that you looked up on your own? Any last final words while I get the score together?
Actually, I wanted to refute something that Nappa had said. He had made mention of the fact that they found chimpanzees in Africa that use fire and tools. My fact check said that chimpanzees do not use fire in the wild. They've been observed using tools, though, such as sticks and stones for various purposes, like obtaining food and grooming. There's no evidence that they use or manipulate fire. In contrast, they control the control use of fire is a significant aspect of human culture and evolution. The last paragraph says there have been some studies and observations in captivity that suggest that chimpanzees might have an interest in fire if exposed to it, but they do not naturally use or control fire.
I thank you for that. And Fusion, is there anything that you wanted to add before I get the results?
Yeah. So I did look at so one question was, since it was so much into Darwinism, and kind of like the theme was Darwinism basically being associated with evolution, which is stated in the debate that that's not necessarily the way to look at that. But I did ask how much of evolution theory, modern evolution theory, should be considered Darwinism. So I'll just go to the conclusion. While modern evolutionary theory is built on Darwin's fundamental ideas of natural selection and common descent, it has evolved significantly since Darwin's time. Today's theory includes a range of mechanisms and concepts that Darwin was unaware of, such as specific genetic drift, gene flow, and the molecular basis of inheritance. Therefore, while a significant portion of modern evolution theory can still be considered Darwinian, it is more accurate to describe it as a synthesis of Darwin's ideas with a wide range of additional insights from genetics, molecular biology, and other fields. This synthesis has created a robust and comprehensive framework that explains the complexity and diversity of life.
I have one other point.
That's it.
Perfectly said. Go ahead, Rick.
I believe Humble had made a claim, I think it was in round two, that things don't evolve from molecules. My fact check said that simple molecules, simple cells. Early Earth had simple molecules like amino acids and nucleotides, and that over time these molecules combined to form complex structures like proteins and RNA, eventually leading to the formation of simple cells known as prokaryotes.
Good. Okay, so with great pleasure, I do announce that Nappa is the winner of this debate, just judging by the judges' scores. With that being said, congratulations, Nappa. Great debate, fellas. Like, Humble, I think you came in swinging. I think you came in with a lot of great information. I think you came in with a lot of potholes into the evolutionary theory, which was great. Yeah, and I really do appreciate everything you brought to the table. Please don't take this as a loss because you definitely brought new information out. Again, Nappa, you are on a streak. That's 2-0 so far. Congratulations to you. Is there anything that either one of you would like to say?
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. Oh, you go ahead, Humble. Go ahead. I'll go after you.
Okay. Yeah, you already know. Most definitely appreciate it. Shout out to my man Nappa. Um, I, I did bring a lot of information. I most definitely appreciate the challenge, and it most definitely was an uphill challenge. I do agree with that. Because a lot of what I was bringing out, um, again, one thing I do believe hurt me was the visuals of it. But also, I felt I was rushing through the rounds, because I had so much instead of condensing it. You see what I'm saying? And so this is why I had to keep going back to certain rounds because the things that he was saying one round, I had rebuttals to, in the other round, and so I would have to go back rounds. Um, but all in all, yeah, this was an amazing, debate, and it was an amazing experience. And I got some amazing feedback, some amazing lessons. Of course, I got one coming up tomorrow, so you know, it's a teaching experience, and I appreciate it.
Nappa, did you want to say anything?
Oh yeah, man. Yo, yeah, man. It was a good debate. It was kind of challenging. It is a challenging debate, to try to break down evolution because it's such an extensive topic, man. Like paleontology and all that. It's a very broad topic. It actually would take a lot of time to talk about it, honestly, because there's so many different time periods, different epochs, so many small, minute details about how DNA works, how genetics work. So it takes a lot of time to understand these things. Some things are kind of hard to understand if you don't understand the terminology behind it. And it was challenging for me, like how DNA is pretty consistent across the organism kingdom, but how you see these variations, but similar DNA. It's really hard for me to explain. But I do appreciate you, man. Like helping me exercise these muscles, man, and having this debate with me, being a good sport about it. you know. So I appreciate you.
Thank you, and I appreciate all of y'all for participating. I know this shit is not easy. I know y'all got lives, y'all got kids, y'all got jobs. I appreciate y'all for taking the time out and bringing these presentations to us. I really, really, truly do. Um, I had fun tonight. I learned a lot of new things. I know I'm gonna look up a lot of stuff that Humble was talking about. Uh, but yeah, again, thank you all for coming out. Please remember Monday, Goddess Panel, September 8th, 90s Rap Debate. Um, and also coming up, let's talk about men. Let's do it, ladies. It should be a great panel. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for listening to us for about 2, 3 hours. I appreciate y'all. I am going to send it over to Ruby for the Bigo Break Room Debate After Show. Please follow everybody that's on the panel. Please follow. Gifts, last minute gifts. Oh, sorry, Fusion. You have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I was just wanted to say, good job to both of them. They both did real well. Like Nappa, did bring out a lot of good information, but and so humble you were, fighting an uphill battle. That's true, but you did climb that hill though. You didn't stay at the bottom of that hill, so kudos on that. And you brought out there's certain things about information we hear, and you brought out some specifics. Like even though the Piltdown man, we can say it may have hurt your argument, but the information that you brought out, most people don't know that's the name of that. Like if you hear the term the missing link, that's the Piltdown man, basically. And some people don't even know what the missing link means, but that phrase is basically from that whole history of the Piltdown man and everything. So most people don't even actually know that that's the name of it. They just go by the colloquial term, the missing link. So it's good that you had that information and that you brought it forth.
Appreciate you. Anybody else that wanted to say something? I'm sorry, I was closing out. I'll be running
Are
off
we
these
going to do
channels
the
like that.
Q&A over on her panel?
Yeah, we're gonna do a whole Q&A. We're gonna have a lot of open forum questions.
Okay.
Anybody could really sit and have a conversation. So everybody that was in the comments, please get there as fast as you can so you can get a seat with the conversation. Is there anything else anybody wants to say before we close out?
Yeah.
Munchie,
I
Ruby,
want
Rep.
I want to shout out Issa for holding this grand debate here. I want to thank my fellow judges for holding it down. You are much. You already know how you give it up. Ruby, I'm just meeting you, but you're very articulate. Um, I like your mindset. So yeah, for the here on out, Issa's panel is the place to be if you want a fair debate. You ain't got to worry about the bullshit over here. You can set it off with
I
that.
appreciate you. I
Yeah, we
appreciate you.
appreciate you, Issa, and everybody
Thank
else.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, I completely concur.
I appreciate all of y'all.
And Issa, you're doing a great job as an MC, as a moderator. Big shout to Fusion, your fact checking is stellar. Congratulations to both of the fellas, man. You did your things. Enough respect.
Definitely.
Yeah, and
Okay.
before I go, I definitely want to give a special shout out to Rep because he has been helping me organize these things, making flyers, brainstorming with me, Fusion
Good.
as well. They both have really been a great help. So thank you both. I really do. Go ahead, Ruby. I'm sorry.
No,
Great
I
job
just
on the
wanted to
flyers too.
congratulate you on another successful live. I appreciate those sentiments down there. I do appreciate that, JMO. Yeah, nice to meet you. Issa, again, Rep, Fusion, Nappa, Humble, Munchie. You guys, I think all did a great job tonight. Um, it was lovely. So, congratulations, everyone. Have a good night.
And shout out to
Thank you.
everybody
Thank
that's in here,
you.
man. We still got
Um,
354 people in here. Look at that. That's what it's about.
Thank you for sticking around. Thank you. Thank you. Munchie, you wanted to say anything before we close out?
Um, shout out to you fellas. I'm gonna say less to y'all. The beautiful is the queen, man. You know what I mean? Once again, man. You know what I mean? The physical matches the mental, and if y'all can't see that yet, you're truly blind. Ruby D, always doing the big, sis. I see you outside. You know, I think you did excellent on this judging today. Um, uh, J-Mo, you already know the deal. I love the way you judge. You know, we voice twins as well. And I would say that, you know, you are the impartial judge as well. You know what I mean? If they can get as impartial as me. But I am the most impartial.
Thank you, thank you, thank
um,
you. I appreciate that, big
no doubt.
dog.
And Fusion, man, I see you, bro. Keep doing your big one. I've always wanted you to have more of a center stage, and I see you stepping into it, man. Hey, man, you know, shout outs to you, Fusion. You got it, and a lot of people don't. You know what I mean? And it should be seen. The rep, we haven't done a lot of stuff, you know, but you've been beating me out on the flyers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Your flyers are better than mine. So I bow down to you as well, you know, even though my flyers are hard. You know, I appreciate, you know, everybody on here. Nappa, you did your big one once again. And you as well, Humble. I think both of y'all did great. And, you know, it's a beautiful thing, man. Say no to drugs. Word.
Except marijuana.
And with that PSA, we're going to close it out. I am passing the panel to Ruby. Thank y'all for coming out. For real, truly. Y'all have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you in the Bigo break room. Have a good night, y'all.